Breathe deep. Relax.
Patrick Jordan said he and collaborators Dave Mansueto and Pete Spinda initially expected a shorter run.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Alone Together Pittsburgh, streaming at you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am your host, Patrick Jordan. I believe we are on episode 161 on the halfway point of week. What week is this? 53, Dave?
52?
53. I think this is 53.
You're right, Patrick. 53. You got me.
Which means this is 1 year. Okay, this might be the actual date. I don't remember if we started yesterday, today, or now, but it has been 1 year that we've been doing this little pandemic talk show. We started it as a way to keep a sense of community going, to keep people connected, let people know that they were not alone out there, and we were all in this together. That's the name, Alone Together Pittsburgh. I don't want to wax nostalgic on this, because we'll be here all night. We have a fantastic show tonight. Thank you, Amanda. You've been here since the start, Amanda. Thank you so much. For the happy anniversary shout out. We are doing something here. Before I get into what we're doing tonight, real quick, a little bit of housekeeping for the show. Ticking below me is the Venmo at TogetherPGH. If you want to kick in a couple of bucks for the show, that would be amazing. Whether it's $1, $2, $5. If you give $500 or more, you get to be a guest on the show. And if you give $2,000 or more, you don't have to come on the show at all. So I don't know what that means, but that's how it is. That's how we set it up. So that's great. But we wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't a pandemic. So real quick, there were 296 cases reported in Allegheny County in the last 24 hours. So we are not out of the woods yet, but vaccines are rolling out and we see a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's not fumble the ball on the 5-yard line. Let's not pull the Leon Lett with the Don Beebe ripping the ball out of his hands in the end zone. Put on your masks, keep social distancing, keep washing your hands, and we'll get through this. And it goes without saying, the mask still goes over your nose. So that's cool. That's it. Aside from that, all I can tell you from advice is, if you're getting takeout, tip on the takeout. And if you're getting delivery, tip on that. And now away we go. We've got a fantastic show lined up tonight. It is a special thing happening. We're always looking for different ways to connect with people outside of our homes, right, during this thing. So one of our sponsors, Engine House 25, has been doing blind wine tastings throughout the pandemic, and we're going to do one here tonight. Okay, so and if you need anything, eh25.com is how it is. We let a lot of people know. We talked about it on the show. So a lot of people at home were able to buy some of this wine to go through the tasting with us, but you will see it. We will get to the whole crew that's going to be here. But before we talk about that, I want to bring out the head vintner from Engine House number 25. He's been on the show, but he hasn't been on the show for a while. Let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Duane Rieder.
Hello, Patrick.
What's happening, buddy?
Thank you. You're making me blush.
No, man. You've been doing a great job. Blush. I mean, is that a wine term? Could it be?
Could be.
So anyway, thanks for being here with us tonight, and thanks for thinking to set this thing up for us. This is exciting.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. And I think I was on with you maybe like 51 weeks ago or something.
You were. I think you were definitely week 1 or 2, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, and then you came on again, and the tech's never been as tight as it was right now.
Yeah.
So you're in a beautiful room right there. Where are you, Duane?
So I'm down below the Clemente Museum. You know, there was that movie where they were down in the cellar of the museum with Ben Stiller, and here I am. I'm down in the museum cellar, Engine House 25 Wines, great old fire station, hence the name. We've been making wine down here, and because you were making wine down here with me in 1999.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah,
it's been a while. It's been a while, but it's fantastic. We got stories that we could tell from the early days. We could do that on another episode because we've got some action to get to tonight. We're going to do a live blind wine tasting, right? But before we bring out everybody, I have a question for you, right? So we've been talking about your wine on the show forever, right? You've been kind enough to sponsor us. So what I have to ask you is, everybody asks, what is the proper way to open a bottle of Engine House 25 wine? Because there are hand wax tips on the bottles.
Yes, and because you've helped me wax them.
I have.
So this is actually a soft wax, and I like it because most people don't wax bottles. Used to be an old-fashioned kind of thing that it would be on like the big, 3-liter, 5-liter, the Jeroboams and the Ebeneezers, and it would be just kind of like sophistication. So I kind of just wanted it because it was unique. Now there are a few people like the Prisoner, and those guys are waxing their bottles. They dip theirs in water and make it really hard. You almost have to cut it off with a knife. Ours, you just go in with a cork pull. You don't cut it off. It'll come right out of there. So just go in, use your little lever because that's slick, and it'll come right off with the cork. And so you don't have to slice it. You don't have to get cut or any of that stuff. You just take it right off. Hopefully everybody was listening, but we were telling everybody, get yours open early. So hopefully no one's opening them now. But get your 3 bottles open. Get them in your glasses. I've got 3 different glasses, and they're kind of color coordinated, so I don't mix up. Probably not going to mix 1 up with 2 or 3, but 1 and 2, you don't want to mix those 2 up. You want to keep them straight because we're going to go through, and then we're going to kind of revisit. If we got enough time, we want to go back through a second time, and then you kind of get a retaste.
So Duane, you're known to many as the wine guy, right? And we've got a lot of people that are going to be the entire Alone Together Pittsburgh crew team is involved in this tonight. So it's going to be a large on-screen one, plus with all the people that bought it, our viewing audience at home that's watching this. but you're known as the wine guy. But I think, is it true that you may have brought a ringer, someone who may have a little bit like a peg up in the wine world?
Can you see me
like a slightly better palate?
As you speak, can you see that happening? Because I'm in the room with the wine guy, and he's way far on the other side of the room.
Gotcha.
But we wanted to get him, just for technical things, we wanted to get him in the same room. He's probably, the number one wine guy in Pennsylvania, definitely the tri-state area, maybe the country. This guy's been coming in and tasting with me for through COVID a little bit, and we've been, he's been helping with tasting notes and helping me with the menu, and the wines have been evolving, and so he's the master. I'm just a guy in the basement of the Clemente Museum.
So I think we should bring him in.
Yeah. All right. Well, here he is. His name is John Waybeck, and he is an incredible person. Well, he's going to talk about that. So I might have given him a click up or two, but
that's a little. That was a bit strong. I've been on the couch for the last 52 weeks. And
I'm on the couch right now, John. You're a step up for me.
Well, I'm in a chair. I'm up with it. My dog's out here, so it's good. Pre-COVID was a beverage director at Richard Deschamps Restaurant Group, so kind of going back to that, and there's a lot of attention to Gaijin, so I went from couch to jumping right back into sake. But I've been friends with Duane for years and years, and he asked me to help, let's make sense of some of these wines and make some blends and things like that. And the wines are fantastic, and I've done 6 or 8 years now. Every year they get better and better, and tasting these 3 today, I had to ask for a little help on one. I'll be upfront, but the other ones are like, that has to be that. There's nothing else it can be. And my whole thing about wine is, all I ask is it tells you where it's from, and that's it. You don't want Cali Cab. It tastes like it's from I don't know, pick something else. But
so
that's all it should be.
So with the palate that you have acquired over the years, even with these wines, you had questions. Is it like a scavenger hunt? Did you ask is it like a X, Y, or Z, or is it a Blue Note? Is it from the Caribbean?
If anyone's seen that movie about the people that were taking that test, that's supposed to be really hard. It's kind of like that. I mean, I just picked up the glass. 1 was 1, 2 was, I was like, is that what I think it is? Duane's like, yeah. And 3 is like, there's nothing else that 3 can be. And, for me, that's the biggest compliment I can get a winemaker is that.
Awesome.
I'm not, hopefully I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to yet.
That's okay. So will you take it easy on us amateurs tonight as we go through this, as you Sherpa us through this blind tasting?
I'll be like the B- color commentator this evening.
This is good. I like this. Well, without further ado, Dave, should we bring out everybody one at a time, or should we just?
I'd say sneak them out. One at a time.
Let's think about. Okay, first
That's
up,
a fun idea.
First off, well, it being Thursday night, this is the usual time slot. What will be happening right now would be everyone's favorite Thursday night segment, "What Kate Ate" with Kate Romane, Chef Kate Romane from the Black Radish Kitchen, and so much more. But tonight, she's going to be here with us tonight. Not what Kate ate; it's what Kate drank. Because that's what's gonna be happening here. That's my good. Kate, welcome.
Hi.
Your Thursday night thing. You ready to go?
I'm so ready to go. Duane, thank you so much for these wines.
Sure.
I can't wait. I want to drink them now.
All right, well,
start.
I already started.
She's already started. It's okay. Well, while Kate's doing that, Kate's doing that, I'm gonna rhyme with Nat. Every Friday night. She's going to be back again tomorrow night, our regular Friday night contributor with her segment 5 Minutes with Natalie Besavenga. She's going to be here with a +1 tonight, it seems.
Hi.
What's happening?
Not much. I badgered my husband into being here with me tonight. I said, but we're going to get to drink wine. It's going to be fun. So he doesn't really know what I do for a living or anything. So I just thought this would be fun for him to see.
Well, that's fantastic, folks. And I'm sorry if we're breaking hearts. That's right. Natalie is married, folks.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get things rolling along here. We've got Pete Spinda in the booth. Is Pete Spinda? Is his tech back? Okay, Pete's ready. How you doing, Pete?
He's hot to trot.
Okay, good. Pete's hot to trot. He's not frozen, folks. That's just how he is. Your TV's moving behind.
I know.
Your backup monitor's moving behind you.
I saw it. It ruined everything.
Okay, so that's cool. Do we have Day? Oh, Friday night wouldn't be the same without the one and only Dave Bracey, who usually does local brews, but tonight it's local vino coming at you right now. It's the one and only Dave Bracey.
He's muted.
He's saying hi to everybody. He's happy to be here.
Hello, everybody.
You gotta come in a year later the same way that I came in a year ago, man, on mute. So thanks for having me.
I just had a flashback. That's fantastic. So Day is like the beer guy. What used to be Fresh Fetch, DigiFetch, which is now Barrel and Flow, coming at you soon. So we are curious. His beer heightened palate going with the wine now. That's going to be great. And of course, we have Dave Mansueto in the booth pulling switches, who's got some wine here. And I
can't see me, but I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I can smell everything. I can taste everything, and I'm loving it.
All right. Well, we're all here.
I'm here too.
All right. There's Dave. Okay. Did I get everybody? Did I leave anybody out?
And it would be so sad if we forgot somebody, but it looks good. I think everybody is in. It's an all skate.
All right, it is an all skate. I'm going to pass the mic over here to Duane Rieder to get us started. Some of us have already started vibing, but right now, Duane, talk me through it. What should I drink first?
Well, of course, and you've heard it many times. Start with the lightest wine. Start with the white. And we're known for our reds here in BH25, but we got to have some whites. You just got to have them. You have events and somebody wants a little white, little red. So we've got 3 white wines that we do here at the winery. This is one of the 3. You want to start with that white, a little lighter, a little easier drinking. Like I say, make sure they're all. If you have 3 glasses, have them in different glasses. Try not to go back and forth and mix your red in with the white. And you're swirling it. Obviously, you want to give it a nice little swirl because you're getting some oxygen in there. It's been bottled up with a cork in there for a year, and it hasn't seen any oxygen. So you're just trying to get it kind of rolling a little bit, get the oxygen in, get that so you can get a nice nose on that thing. And this one's so traditional. This wine, I'm hoping everybody gets this one right because I think it's pretty traditional to what it is. And some of our wines, as you know, Patrick and Dave and Pete, they're all over the place sometimes. I tend to over oak my reds, and so a lot of the wines here are a little on the crazier side than most wineries. Because I can play around. I can afford to keep each barrel separate, and I can over oak some different wines where a lot of wineries take all their Cabernet, blend it in a tank, all their Pinot Noir, blend it in a tank, and then bottle it that way. I bottle each barrel one at a time, so I can play around a little more. However, this one hasn't been in an oak barrel, so hopefully no one's going, "Wow, that thing's oaky," because it's not. I'm going to let John. How about John hops in, Patrick, and talks about a little.
Sure, John, talk for a little bit, buddy.
And if I start talking what I get out of this wine, everyone's going to get it quickly. Most importantly, as I said a few minutes ago, it tastes like it should. How do you start? That was a nice sound effect.
Yeah, from Mars or something.
For me, the first fruit I got, big citrus. Probably grapefruit, and there's a ton of passion fruit. So that said, for me, it's game over. Do a couple checks of where's the acid. It's nice and bright. It's a really juicy wine, really clean, really precise. As Duane said, there's no oak on this. There's only a few things that could be. Just stop there.
And then you guys, everybody keep thinking and and drinking. And then we'll come back to it. We won't tell you guys what 1, 2, or 3 is until we kind of go through them all. Maybe on the second time we'll unveil. And at some point, Patrick, if you're like,
sure. Well, right now, let's just throw to our crack panel, our Alone Together panel, without saying what you think it is. What's it tasting like? What are you feeling like? Are you liking it? Let's start with you, Natalie.
I'm not really a white wine drinker, but I actually like this because it's light, it's not too sweet, and I'm getting a little bit of pear. I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
There's
All right.
no wrong answers in this. Yeah.
That's right.
I was like,
Yeah, like this is like I've already hyped this. The bar is so low with the palate here on me anyway. Pete, let's go to you. What are you feeling like? I know
It tastes like a white wine.
All right, good, Pete. He's the best. He's not the best in the business for nothing. Day, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting notes of grape with hints of wine. So, I would say of the lighter variety from the Pittsburgh region.
It's 4 for 4, folks. All right, Kate Romane.
Delicious.
But delicious.
I love it.
Perfect. There you go. You see, guys, I wasn't actually looking for actual answers like that. It's like, this is pretty good. It's light. It's good. I like it. It's good. It's like, let me just. Oh yeah, that's it. That's good. That's not oaky. It's definitely not oaky. This is good.
If you hated that, would you tell us? If you hated it, would you say?
If I hated it, I would basically say something polite on the negative tip, like it's. I think it might need a little more time, But maybe you should try oak.
Keep it in the bottle. All
right, yeah, you might want to keep this in the bottle and then the Mon. Just put it in the Mon, put a message in it, and see what happens. All right. So anyway,
I got a few.
Dave. Dave, thank you.
I want to talk about my tongue.
Please. Oh gosh.
Well, I think it's. I really enjoy. I like a dry wine, but I also like in the summertime. I really like a smoother wine that I think that is good for sort of park sipping. I feel like a dry wine sometimes goes better with food, but isn't always as fun an experience as a wine that has a sort of a smoother or wetter finish. And this one, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a little bit, it's smooth. There's a touch of sweetness, nowhere near cloying, but it's got that sort of great easy finish on it that is perfect for that porch sipper, that summertime park, pandemic sipper, that sort of thing.
Okay.
This is definitely like ballpark, you get one of those those bags that you strap to your side and then you just get the straw going right there and you just cool for the whole game. But I mean, so are we allowed to ask? Can I ask a question?
Please, please.
I don't really know shit about wine. So what does make a wine dry or sweet or whatever? I mean, I know in the brewing process you gotta get the sugar out or whatever. The yeast might eat it or whatever. But what are you doing into the wine to make it either sweet or dry? And do you get to control that? Do you be I want it to be crazy dry, or do you just you just hope for the best?
No, you ferment it to zero. So if you want dry wine, you got to ferment it all the way through. Where I don't know how they're making White Zinfandel in California. I don't know if they're adding sugar to those or not. Some winemakers do add sugar, a little bit of sugar, water to their wines to sweeten them up. But if you want something dry like this one, you have to get it to zero and then beyond. So you got to get the bricks, which are the sugar content, all the way down to zero, and then you can actually ferment for a day or so past, let it sit with the skins a little longer and get it to go to a -1. If you can get it there, you're pretty safe to be dry.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
We make it this way. We want our wines here dry. We have that Riesling. If anybody knows, it's sweet as can be because Smokey Robinson wanted it that way, and so we made the Riesling super sweet. So there, I just gave you a hint.
And you also dropped a large name. Smokey Robinson wanted us to make the wine sweet. So what are you going to do? Smokey asked for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, moving on. Did you just say you make wine for Smokey Robinson? I'm sorry. All right. So moving. Let's literally, guys. Any other questions? Jump in. But there's some reds here that are kind of calling my name as I'm drinking
number 2, and we'll let John talk about 2 because this is his jam right here.
Number 2. Okay, the number 2 bottle, folks. You guys at home, we are on the number 2 bottle.
Should we finish our first one? Or should we
You have to finish the first whole bottle before you can open number two.
Don't finish. We'll go back. We'll go back.
We're going to go back through it and re-pour or whatever. You don't have to finish what you poured. I'm finding this out as we go because I wish you'd have told me that like literally 30 seconds ago because I just downed the rest of that.
Smells like super.
I totally just finished it. For a second, I thought Dave was messing with me, and then I realized he was being legit. I literally just chugged that whole thing. All right, hey. So anyway, it's an anniversary show too. What the hell?
Right.
So all right. So number 2, do the
I love
swirl
the way
thing
this
again.
one smells. It's
Oh,
kinda
wow.
it's very sexy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like if you're gonna go on a date, you're gonna drink some of this. And then
Mm.
it could turn out to be a good night for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to get a report on what happens later tonight, tomorrow.
Get a
Back on the show. Hopefully that would be more than 5 minutes with. But moving along here. Let's talk number 2 here.
All right. John, take it away. Say a couple words about this.
2 is one of those. I gotta do this without giving it away. It's one of those grapes that you either love it or you hate it. I like this wine very much. I don't know if I actually like it in its normal oak. For me, there's a ton of like black tea, dried herbs, green bell pepper, green olive. It's really lively, really bright. I don't normally talk like this, but being a wine professional, which I am right now, I guess.
We're kind of disappointed you're not wearing a tuxedo with tails.
He was.
It's funny, the gentlemen that are here with me are wearing all-flat jackets, and I've not worn anything but a hoodie. I'm not wearing a hoodie today, so I'm dressed up, actually. So back to this wine, I mean, it's easy to drink, really bright. There's not a ton of fruit or a ton of oak, so it can go down real quick. If I was grilling something, I would want several bottles of this there. If I say much more, it's going to give away. I mean,
if I could jump in for a second. So other than Dave, I don't think anybody's going to get this. This one here is a grape that 90% of this planet doesn't know about. So I think this is going to be a tricky one. You'll have a better time, I think, with number 3. So this isn't anything super traditional and normal.
But this is the kind of stuff that, like, I like. This is something that's good about Engine House and what you can get from Engine House 25.
Yeah.
Like, this is not your average everyday tasting wine. This is more, dare I say, complex.
I think it tastes really expensive.
it's expensive.
Well, you said it was sexy first.
It's sexy and expensive. There's something happening here. If you took someone out to a restaurant and they ordered this bottle of wine, you would think they spent like $100 on it.
That's probably fair.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It smells sexy, but it tastes expensive.
That's right.
All right.
I shouldn't be drinking and talking.
This date thing that you speak of, is that people still do that?
In the before times.
Oh, before
Yeah, back in 2019.
Or right now, you can get this stuff to go and have a date at your house.
Yeah.
If you're fortunate enough to be cohabitating with someone. Kate Romane, question for you about this wine. Off the top of your head, after just having a few sips, what would you pair this with?
Italian food. I'm feeling Italian on this.
Yes.
I feel like this needs to go with some red sauce, but I don't know.
What wouldn't?
Would it go well with French food? Would it work with French?
Oh,
So I do have a question. So you guys bring grapes in from all over, right? So you're not just regionally centric.
Yeah. And maybe I should talk just a minute about that because, if anybody goes to our site, you'll see the varietals that we make. And so we get grapes from California, Chile, and South Africa. So, we make Cab, Zin, Sangiovese, Malbec, Carmenere, Pinot Noir, Pinotage. So there's about 10 red varietals. So you can only guess from 10 different wines. but that's a lot, and it's 3 different countries. And we've been very successful with the fruit from Chile. Comes in the spring, and that'll be coming actually in a month or so. Anybody wants to come out and make wine with us, we like that because then people see that we're actually making wine and we're not bringing a big tanker full of juice and filling up our barrels. And Patrick knows because he's been here many times.
Yeah, we've crushed a lot of grapes.
A lot of grapes.
So you guys crush the grapes there. You're not buying juice. Wow, that's awesome.
We bring in whole grapes.
Grapes come, the regional ones come refrigerated box trucks, obviously from South Africa, refrigerated on the way here. Gets here and then go a little bit about the process. Duane comes in on a flatbed and we go.
18 days on
Is
the
it
boat
feet?
from Chile.
Is it still Feet, like a Three's Company episode from the 80s?
Or I Love Lucy is what most people think, but no feet. We've done it once or twice just for a photo op.
That was in the 90s.
Yeah, the feet have been replaced by a thing called the crusher destemmer, and it just is more efficient. It works, and it gets rid of the stems. So, it's an efficient machine, and it's the only thing that we plug in. Everything else, we press the wine by hand. Patrick's my backup on that because he's pressed many times with us. Big Al Russo and Jimmy DeCecco.
Back in the day.
Yeah, we're a small crew. We bring in. We used to bring in 10 tons of Cabernet, 5 tons of Zinfandel. Now we're starting to make just a little less, and so that we have more room and I have more time to actually spend with each barrel.
Speaking of barrels, how many barrels roughly do you have? Because you're a smaller winery. I mean, it's not like
I mean, I'm as big as a lot of the boutique wineries in California. Right. I mean, we had, as of 2019, we had 100 barrels full in the building at one time. Now, today, I'm trying to get it down to 80 right now. So 80 barrels of wine full is a lot. It takes up, as you know, a lot of space down here. And plus, we've got there's the old days. And so, we make a decent amount of wine, and it gives the 2 seasons, bringing the Chilean grapes in, and the stuff from South Africa in the spring, and then we bring the fall grapes in October, November.
Now, question for
2 seasons.
Another question for you, Duane. Your wine is low in sulfites.
Correct.
And that means what?
Well, technically, it's not organic. A lot of people think the grapes aren't organically grown. It's just that the sulfite is an additive. It's a preservative, and we choose to add a little less than most wineries. Most wineries, they're shipping their wine all over the place, and it's sitting on docks. PA, as you know, the PLCB, they don't really care about your product. If it sits out on a dock in an 80-degree day, that's just the way it is. We tell everybody, don't leave our wines in your car, especially if you're driving that Cadillac with the white shag carpet. If you're hot day, the cork's going to push and you're going to drip. So don't do that. Take the wine in the house. So we try to educate everybody to keep the wine cool and dark.
And it also helps if there's very minimal hangovers.
And that's why the athletes, I make a lot of barrels for baseball players and football players, and they love that they can drink a bottle or 2 at night and not wake up, with that dehydrated headache in the morning. And so we're fairly low in sulfites. We used to be no sulfites, but we're trying to add a little bit because we want to, protect that person that did leave the bottle of wine in their kitchen by the stove a little too long.
Right on.
So we're trying to get that fine line between sulfite and a headache.
Does anybody else want to talk about number 2? Back to number 2. Pete.
So, no, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, there were no lawsuits because wine has exploded being too close to a... Take me off the screen, damn it.
Okay. As you're chugging.
Day?
He passed out. He's gone. Day, talk about the What about the other?
So, I don't know. Exploding beer cans is one of my favorite genres of Facebook. So that is a very interesting thing, packaging and all that. But it smells like leather and like wood, like a cowboy. Like this is a cowboy like why, right? I mean, that's the, you know, that's why Nat was, you know what I mean? That's why Mr. Bencia Vega is gonna have a better evening. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's bad or rowdy in this glass. But like, what does that? Is that the what does that? Is that the grape? Is it the skin? Is it the soil? Is it the wood? Like, how do you know? You know, like, where do you get those characteristics? One, and two, when you're choosing your grapes, are you like you know, giving it a good sniff and being like, ooh, this is a oak type of a grape? Are you like matching your grapes with your wood, or are you just throwing them in there randomly to see what you get?
I'm going to let John talk a little bit about the leather.
The leather is a couple ways. I mean, you make beer. I mean, the Brettanomyces is where you're going to get some of that leather from. That's usually from the wine side of things. Is usually from kind of sanitation could be a little better. Some wineries will let it have a little bit, but this isn't from. I mean, there's Brettanomyces can be like, you know, Band-Aid or clove or leather or things like that. The leather would be the good part of it. You know, there's some beers, like I couldn't name a Brett beer right now. My girlfriend drinks that stuff. But you know, you can inoculate that into a beer, and you probably would want to do that. With wine, you know, I think that this particular leather is coming from not Brettanomyces, because it would be everywhere with the program that he has. You know, how small this winery is. But I think with this, he does, you know, Duane does a little extra time in barrel. And I think it's just the fruit is faded to a certain point that it just turns into this, like, I mean, I find that, I know what you're talking about taste-wise. I think it's delicious. And, you know, it adds a little a note that I really like in this. So for me, I think this would be from, you know, another 6 months or 12 months in oak, that it's not going to imply, or it's not going to add oak flavor. It's just going to add, you know, the fruit's going to kind of go to the background a little bit, and then you get this nice little, you know, saddle leather or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But my new briefcase that I just pulled out of the closet yesterday, as I'm, you know, doing things.
Or an old golf bag or something like that.
Old golf bag, not new golf.
You mentioned olive, and that's.
Go ahead, Dave.
Sorry. No, olive. I think that's really interesting because I couldn't put my finger on. This is probably, I think, my fave. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut in that regard. But yeah, no, olive is really sort of that driving flavor. It's an interesting thing because it's the kind of flavor that usually dominates or clashes with other things. So balancing flavors against that, you know. But what is the olive then that's coming through?
I mean, there's
grape, maybe.
The grape has these flavors. Let's just leave it at that. We can discuss that later because
4 years in oak, maybe. This is a 2016.
I mean, typically these wines have a ton of fruit, and a ton of dried herbs and olives and all that. That is what's galvanizing people against this grape. But I actually kind of like the aging regimen that this has, because all the stuff I like in this grape is there, but it's not in your face. It's just like, you know, hell, I can drink I can't swear on this. You drink the hell out of it. I can?
Yeah, I think you can.
Well, next.
And then now we know, you know, what Natalie's saying about the wine. You know, guys should be going to the store right now and buying this. Right? You should be calling me. The phone should be ringing. Hello.
So this wine number 2.
Yes.
If somebody wanted to come buy it, could they come buy it tomorrow?
Tomorrow. We sell it every day here, 7 days a week. We've got the tasting room next door where Lola's is, and my wife is there on the weekends. We sell it, you know, in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday. You can go online and buy it. We're pretty easy to find, and a lot of the people that are listening hopefully are drinking. I know we got 20 groups out there that are all, you know, tasting. And I want to thank everybody too. For buying wine and, you know, 3 bottles and jumping in on this tasting, and hopefully you're learning a little bit of something. Hopefully you get that one right. That one's going to be tough.
All right. Well, this one's tough, but I'm almost empty on another full glass, and I'm wondering if I should have probably had dinner or put a little base down beforehand. But I'm ready to go for number 3.
Yeah, let's go to 3 because I know everybody's itching. Could go for free. All right, so here again, you're doing you're giving it a good swirl. This one, same year, so the reds are both 2016. They were both oaked about 4 years. So most wines are, if you read the back label, it'll say 12 to 16 months, 16 to 24 months for the kind of higher end stuff. 2/3 of all the wine on this planet it's not oaked at all. They're made in stainless vats, and they have oak staves and oak chips thrown in. But these have been in wine barrels, not whiskey barrels, not wine barrels made for us. And we use American oak, Hungarian oak, and French oak. And both these wines have seen all three of those, and each one of the oaks different, give it a different flavor. French oak's going to leave you with a really nice vanilla note. The Hungarian oaks are going to be a little more maybe nutty, where American oak is going to can be pickly, a little more olive. But the American oak barrels also can leave it a little jammier, believe it or not, which is, I didn't believe it till a guy that's making all these barrels in Australia using American oak called me and said, the reason people like your wine because it's jammy, that's because of my barrels. And I was like, oh man, you're going to take all the credit? And he's like, well, it's because of the wood that I get and the way I make the barrels with this water pressure, and I make these special barrels, that's keeping your wine with less tannins and making it a little on the fruitier, on the jammier side. So both of these wines went through the American, then into Hungarian, then into French.
Amazing.
So
a lot of racking.
Lot of racking.
So one quick, before we move on and start talking to everybody else about what this next number 3 wine tastes like, if you're drinking along with us at home, going through the tasting, hit the comment section on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. And if you've got any questions for John, Duane, anybody on the crew, any questions about wine or anything else, please feel free to join the conversation. It is not just these 8 or 9 talking heads here tonight. This is we're being alone together. So anyway, so moving things along here, number 3. Okay. Does anybody else want to chime in on this? Does Natalie have an adjective?
Natalie?
No, this one's different because I think this one's a lot like smoother and more subtle. And I like that it's a little sweeter up front, but then it kind of hits you at the end, which is fun for me.
To go along with what Natalie's saying, I find this with a lot of your wines, then the first sip is one thing, but the third sip is something totally different.
Yeah.
You go on like a tour with there's like it's a journey, it's a trip with Engine House 25. All right, so moving there, did Kate Romane chime in? Did she say something?
No, I think you're right. I don't know if I didn't maybe open mine in time. But this has changed completely from when we started the show to now. And you're right, it's super smooth. It's really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, this one here, number 3 is pretty full body. That's the one thing. We don't cheat anybody. We know that our wines are a little on the more expensive side because the grapes are being trucked from California and on a boat from Chile, and we're making everything by hand and we're waxing, and it's a lot of labor involved. But we don't cheat anybody. This wine right here, this is pretty much as good as this one. This is a good glass of wine. It's full body, in your face. I'll let John. John, you want to throw in a couple tasting notes? Does this have anything going on other than oak?
Let's see. I typically don't normally like this grape, so anyone that knows me is going to know what this is automatically. But the style that I do like is this big, fragrant, opulent, balanced thing. I think what you said earlier about it, it's easy. What did she say? It was soft and I don't remember. Soft and.
We talking about Natalie said?
Yeah.
Natalie, what'd you say?
What did you say, Natalie?
I said it was smoother and more subtle up front. And then
I agree with that. That's really, there's a ton of fruit and it's really like for me, if you're on like a first or second date, maybe you want some of this because it's a little more exotic. But I think, you know, you've been together with somebody for a couple of years, you might want this.
But you don't want anything that's soft.
No, you know, not a family show, I guess. Right in there.
It is a family show.
What I like about this grape is
We're talking wine.
who knows what we're talking about at this point. I think that you know, I want the fragrance that this has. It's really, really, you know, I just want to smell it. This grape tends to be overdone. It can be too much. It can be like the, you know, the double IPA that everyone makes. It tastes the same as everything else. To talk beer terms, I think it's balanced. It tastes like it should, you know. But for me, what I like most about this, and you know, I want to smell this. And I'm a fragrance-driven wine guy, and you know, I drink Pinot Noir mostly just because I want to smell it. But this is like, you know, I get black currants, I get a little bit of cassis, I get, you know, a little bit of just a tiny bit of dried herbs, and you know, maybe.
What about compared to like a Camus? Where would this kind of is this?
You know, I think I don't want to use the words because I'm going to give the wine away, but the tendency of this grape tends to be it's too much. It's 16% alcohol, and there's probably some sugar left in it. The fruit's too ripe, and it just tastes like a wine that can be from anywhere in the world. And for me, this tastes like, you know, this is this grape from this particular spot in the world. And you know, as I said earlier, I mean, that's all I ever ask. You know, it's not embarrassing for New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc to taste like it is. You know, the winemakers are like, oh, we just made this, or like it tastes like the rest. You know, Malbec is like, no, Malbec's delicious. New Zealand
got a question from the audience here. Yeah. Have you seen Mondovino? And if you did, what is your view on the movement away from their point that the American palate is squashing the French aesthetic?
Are you asking me?
Anybody who wants to go at it. I think you might be the one to do this because
unless you want me to take a crack at it.
I mean, it might save my career a little bit. I think that I mean, there's a lot of things at play here. There's some critics that want a certain style of wine. You know, is that right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I mean, I have opinions. You know what? I'm just going to say.
Go.
I think that, you know, California wine should taste like California wine. French wine should taste like French wine. That's the cool thing about wine. And, you know, it's up to people like me and people that want to pay attention to it a little bit that, you know, hey, this California wine, I like that it's balanced and elegant and, you know, it's a little closer to France. But these critics now are really kind of pushing that every wine tastes like a red wine and it's probably from somewhere on the earth. For me, I hate that. You know, I live in Africa.
We lost audio.
I think the wine police.
Did the wine police pull the plug? Would somebody tell him that his audio was out?
Mondavi, you know, got a hold of the feed.
This is terrible. See, what I think is that, you know, the wine, when it comes from the ground, it's got. I'm just going to try to mouth words.
We need these answers. It was getting so juicy.
It was getting real. This is well. Anyway, folks, if you're just joining us, we are doing a live wine tasting.
1 year in, it's still technical difficulties.
1 year in, and just having we get a sommelier on the show, and he's muted. Can we hear you, John?
He's still
the problem is here's the problem. We could fix it. Duane's feed went down. So hang on 1 second. I think I can get John back.
Unmute John. Hold on. John.
Yeah.
We lost you about 35 seconds.
The gremlins in the internet broke it. Tell us again. You were getting juicy there. Please rephrase.
I was getting juicy.
We left off so for me, right around you know, you want the wine to taste like it's from that place.
I can go on that camera in a minute.
Let me. I mean, that's all it should. You know, Italian wine should taste like Italian wine. French wine should taste like Italian wine. Or I'm sorry, Jesus. Country.
He liked wine too. He liked wine.
You stated your opinion there.
That's what I heard. He liked wine.
There's much more to it than this, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to hijack this. We'll turn this
No,
over to
don't
Duane.
hijack it. We're gonna have to go around again. Day. Any
We're all
comments?
here for this. This is the
Yeah,
good
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Go deep, John. Then go deep.
I'd keep going, or you wouldn't go back to Duane. Whatever. We're having some technical.
We don't have Duane in the
We don't
system.
have Duane
That's
at
the only-
all in the system. He's got to
We're gonna
log
switch
back
over to
in.
Duane
So
now.
if we want,
Oh.
oh Jesus.
So now we got to get the volume up, right?
No, you're good. You're fine. Duane, sit down.
Sounds
You're good.
good.
Get
You
comfortable.
hear okay?
This is good. Actually, you look a lot more like the color has totally shifted.
Well, you know how the camera is so good these days.
Well, you would know.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to piggyback on what John just said, or can we go to the crew here?
Yeah, go to the crew. What he said.
All right. So I'm going to roll down here. Dave Bracy, number 3 wine. What are you thinking, or do you want to add into anything here?
Sommelier. I like I like that. Sommelier. Like it's like I like Frank. I like French. Like the way they just make everything sound sexy and just the title is Sommelier. Like you just automatically getting somewhere at a bar when your title is Sommelier. You know what I mean? But I think this is dope. It's so correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like the heavy hitter. This is like the double wine,
Yeah.
right? Like this is
We could call that the Mac Daddy. That's the Mac Daddy.
yeah, this is a heavy hitter. This is like my night went, you know what I mean? Like went sideways halfway through this glass. So shout out to that. But speaking of heavy grapes, how have you ever made like a brandy or I mean I guess it can't be cognac, but like a brandy, like a Henny, but like a Pittsburgh Henny. Has that happened, or have you ever experimented with this distilling any of these bottles?
We tinker around with a little bit of something like a port. We don't have a distiller's license here, so we only have a winery license. We're only technically allowed to make it up to about 16% alcohol. Once you get into the 17s, then it's a whole new ball game. So we play around with a little bit of port style Zinfandels, and we get them up into the 16.5 or so. But we've never done cognac. You've got that's something I don't know much about. But hey, Dave, maybe we'll make one together.
You get some of that Pittsburgh yak. That's what you know what I mean? Like that's gotta happen at some point. I don't know why it hasn't already happened, but
it may have been birthed tonight. What just happened right now?
Possible.
What just happened right now might have been the reason that Alone Together Pittsburgh has been on episode 161, because it could be the birth of Yinzer Yak.
You nailed the branding. That's 90% of it. That's the battles.
Pittsburgh Yak.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
I'm all about.
He's all about that. Yinzer Yak. It's on, folks.
That's going to be trademarked before anyone gets home today.
Before the show's over. This is what happens. This is magic. This is what happens in your third glass of Engine House wine. You get epiphanies. You get total clarity. You get you see it. You see it. Kate, what do you think of this number 3?
It's big. I'm ready to eat some food with it. It's good. It's so good.
The real question is, what does Snacks think? Because Snacks just propped up. He's like, what's going on?
Snacks the dog. That is a real dog, folks. If you're just joining us for the first time, that's a real dog. And now he's a little camera shy. And Snacks is just going back to what it is. You can see that Snacks up in the corner. He shows up regularly on the show. So
I'm
anyway,
still not convinced somebody isn't puppeteering him back there.
This is seriously, this is a big red, man. This is it. I mean, this is what you want when you get into a glass of wine. I'm not going to go into like the notes and stuff, but
I would. Can I go in on the notes?
Dave, would you please? That's why we're here, man.
Here's one of the fun ones.
Alone Together Sommelier.
Of the three of us, he is the Somm.
I'm the biggest secret snob.
It's not a secret, Dave, but go on.
All right. One of my favorite flavors that I think inorganic flavors that are coming out of wine, the taste of the inside of when you're blowing up a beach ball. It drives me crazy because that's one of those like sensations that like I remember fondly, and I feel like comes across in certain wines, this one included. It's sort of like a petroleum kind of thing. I love it.
Is that the booze?
What's that?
Is that actually the booze that you're tasting?
Maybe it's a certain flavor. It's sort of like a metallic thing or
Yeah.
a petroleum thing. But you know what I'm saying? When you're blowing up a brand new beach ball, there's
Totally.
like this interesting aroma. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
you
unmistakable.
are a goddamn genius, man. Like that, like I have never really thought about that in any way, shape, or form. But now that you say it, like hell yeah,
Yeah.
Like breathing out, you're like, oh shit, that's that volleyball, that's that beach ball.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Well, it's one of those
crazy.
first things you remember. You're 3 years, 4 years old, or whatever, on a beach. You're blowing up a beach ball. Like that's unmistakable. But I feel like that comes across in this one. And
Especially when you're drunk on wine at 4.
Thank you, Pete.
you know it. But
So
like
go on,
also
Dave.
that's
What's
where
that?
like the
Did we lose David? Natalie, is David gone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We lost this.
But I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. We didn't even get to hear his voice.
if he's
Natalie.
asleep, can we turn the camera onto him just so we can get a good feed?
All right. Move on. All right, move on. Dave, go back to it.
This is one of those things where I think
Run a mute on Dwayne's cam. Go on. Dave, take me.
Yeah, I had to mute. It's that thing where you make fun of things. I think understanding wine, being able to sit there and like smell it and just sort of smell and get and experience the aromas and that thing there. You know, at first it seemed like a commercial, 1980s movie thing. But the other trick, you know, where you take it and you do the, where you kind of slurp it through your teeth. I feel like that's where like
You get right on the
licorices-
microphone for this.
Hang on, everybody should lean into the microphones.
Oh my
When
gosh.
you do that thing, that's where
I
you get
almost
that
just
beach
spit.
ball, the vanilla, the licorice, that kind of thing.
I almost spit all
Definitely
over the
vanilla.
damn
Do you
the
think
whole
that's
setup there.
accurate?
What?
Do you think is that a real thing, or are you just doing that?
I'm not being cool. I think it's a real thing. I think that
It's a
gives
real
you that
thing.
The slurping?
the
Yeah,
That's a
slurping.
thing. That's
Well,
a real thing.
let's go to the pros.
I believe Kate.
We have a
What?
psalm here tonight. Let's go. Let's take it to the real thing. Buddy, you're live. So is the slurping a real thing? Dwayne,
It's a real thing.
tell him he's on camera. Just tell him to nod his head.
I'm on a mic?
Well,
Oh, cool.
can you hear me? Can anybody?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Dwayne.
Okay. Because we were having some audio problem. That's why we moved John's camera, and that's why mine's all messed up.
I just love the different
Uh,
the different
We're not-
angles of Engine House 25 cellar.
Well, we could take you on a walk if you want. You know, if you want.
Let's wait a second. I'd like for you to go through one more round of drinks before you take everyone for a walk, because I'd like you to
Well,
get good and hammered.
I think we should
I'm
start
kidding.
talking about the reveal, right? We should start talking.
Oh,
about
the reveal. Yeah, I mean, if you want to walk, this is good.
Because-
Sarah Siplak, how you doing, Sarah? Things are about to get interesting.
Hey, wanna go to this?
Sarah just said this is brilliant.
Wanna talk about that?
It's fun, right? It's fun. Do we want to talk 1 minute about the slurping, Dave? you wanna-
Yeah, I would love to.
I
would love to hear
legit want to hear about
slurping.
the slurping. Yeah.
Let John talk about slurping
I
because it's.
mean, yeah, so all the flavors are going to get developed when you introduce oxygen into your mouth. Now, if you want to do it, cool. I mean, I'm just like, I do my thing, taste, drink, move on. It does stuff, but if you're on a date and you've got some Carmenere behind your ears, I just messed it up.
Ooh.
Well,
or Malbec.
Everyone,
Or Malbec.
you know, or Malbec or Sangiovese or whatever. You know, if you want to really slurp like that, you're like your date that you built all this wine and years about. You know, I don't really make a lot of noise on a taste.
Yeah.
And just do my thing.
If I could chime in there for a minute, my wife hates when I slurp, you know, so I push it through around my mouth. You want to kind of get it on your palate all over the place, you know, so you want to get it both sides, front, back. So I'm making the noise that Dave was talking about, and it drives my wife nuts. She's like, will you stop that? But it's the only way I can figure it out and get a really good taste just by drinking wine. You're missing half of it. You gotta feel free to do whatever makes you happy and whatever allows you to get a good taste on your palate.
See, I like that, Duane. Like, do whatever makes you happy. So we got a couple of comments here. Sarah Siplak says, I'm quite enjoying the conversation of learning so much about wine. I can't think it because of my allergies. She can't think because of her allergies. Her allergies totally blank her brain. But yins are making me want to try some. So informative. Thank you. I'm sure she means drink, not think.
Sarah,
please do.
So the sulfites, you might have a problem with sulfites. So I'm not trying to sell a bottle of my wine, but if you come down here, we'll hook you up with a bottle of wine, and I guarantee you will have less problems with these wines. The sulfite sometimes is the problem. Sometimes it is the grape. You might have a problem with like a histamine thing. There's other problems. But
but for real, but Sarah, seriously, go get a bottle of wine from Engine House 25 and bring your EpiPen just in case. Just in case it's not the sulfites that Duane was saying, get that for you just in case if stuff starts blowing up on you, just stick it in there and you're good to go. So it's on the house. Hold on, I think Pete wants to chime in here for a second.
I just had a question about the slurping. Is it something you do all the time, like with every glass or every sip, or is it something you just do at the beginning of when you open the bottle?
I would say more at the beginning. You kind of just want to get it, you want to get a mouthful at the beginning and try to figure out what it's tasting like to you. And once you get it in your palate, then the second taste is, it's easier and easier and easier as you go. And you're getting more drunk. And by the, fourth or fifth hoop, you don't even know what's what. You don't know if you're drinking red wine or white wine at that point. But the beginning is so important. The very first, probably the second taste is the most important one. The first, if you had other things on your palate and then you taste a little wine, it's going to kind of erase what's on your palate. And then by the time you hit the second, the most important one, if you wanted to try to figure it out, is that second taste. So I don't know if you guys have time. Should we go, back around real quick? Or do you want me? Should we just unveil them so we can start talking about the grape a little bit?
I have a follow-up question.
Shoot.
I just want to know, like, when you open up a bottle and you let it sit for a while, like you had us open this a little bit before we started the show.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when you do that, and why do people do that? And like, do you do that with Bully Hill or like
Bully Hill?
Yeah.
Franzia, do you like cut the bag in half?
I think we might be having a little audio problem. I don't know if you guys, does it sound okay to you guys?
Oh, you sound fantastic.
Okay. Sometimes it's coming in like Jurassic Park, the Raptors. So you can decant every bottle of wine. Can't hurt to throw your Bully Hill in a decanter and get it out of there and give it a swirl. Anything that's been in a bottle for a long time. If you're doing a 20 or 30-year-old Bordeaux from France, you want to get it out. We started decanting at 7 a.m. once. We opened a 59 Margaux. It was rated a 100. We opened up at 7 a.m. and ran it through all these decanters and put it and got it breathing because we were going to drink it at 5 o'clock. So the older the wines, you kind of want to get them in, a decanter or get them out of that bottle. Your Bully Hill, if it's 6 months old or 8, you don't have to decant that probably. But it's good to kind of get the cork pulled and get them in a glass and get it, getting some oxygen, give it a little swirl and have a taste.
Can I just say that I just went back to the second wine.
Whoa! David's back. Hold on. He's back.
No,
Because we had questions before. People were wondering if David left because you weren't sharing.
No, first of all, that's not true. That is mean-spirited, Maureen. I am sharing.
No, she's sharing
all the wine.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, she just drinks more than me. That's all. Like way more.
That's the honest truth right there.
Okay. But go on, Natalie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. It's okay. No, I was just saying I just went back to number 2, and I think I like it even more now.
Ooh, well, we're about to go around the world again here. I think we're going to go. You know what? Because since we've been on for a year, we can run long tonight. I think it's okay.
It's allowed.
So it's allowed as long as it's happening. So Duane.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna go around the world again. Do you want to go back to the white, or do you want to go back to, like, you're going 3-2, 3-2, and then to the white, or you want to say forget the white and move on to the red?
Let's unveil what the white is, and we'll go and talk more 2 and 3. Let's go. Let's see. Throw your guesses in there. Anybody out there, the panel? Anybody? What do you think?
Anybody drinking this wine at home that bought the wine and they're drinking along with us here?
Chime in. What is it? What is number 1?
Maybe it's a Chardonnay.
What is it?
All right.
Come on.
All right. We'll start top to bottom. Kate.
I'm gonna go Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauv Blanc. Nat.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, right?
Just wait. Natalie.
I'm gonna go Chardonnay.
Not
Day.
bad. Yeah. Anybody else?
It's multiple choice.
Somebody's got to chime in. Yeah. If you looked at
Wait, what was it? What was the question?
Rick, okay, we're gonna say what number 1 was the white wine. What was it? So we've got a Sauv Blanc from Rick, who's drinking at home. We've got Kate says Sauv Blanc. Nat says, did you say Chardonnay, right, Nat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jake.
Anybody else?
I mean,
Just pick multiple
Merlot?
choice. Merlot, you son of a bitch.
1 of 3. It's either
Okay.
Sauv Blanc or Chardonnay. Pick one.
Oh, Chardonnay. That's one that I know. I've heard that name before. So
And you might be right, sir. I'm gonna go with the Chardonnay.
Come on.
Chardonnay.
How about the Swainars? They got a couple bottles today and chimed in on this. Come on.
Okay, Rick Sauv Blanc. We got Sauv Blanc. All right, tell you what. To be honest with you, I'm going to say it's a Sauv Blanc 2. We've got 3 in there. We've got Amy Marshall says Sauv Blanc. We've got 2 Chardonnays. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Sauv Blancs.
Clearly, I've just been disqualified because I said Bully Hill earlier. Is that what's happening?
That's okay, Bill. I would have said Bankers Club, but that's my world. But okay, Pete, go on. I'm going to say Sauv Blanc.
It doesn't taste quite as dry as a Chardonnay, so yeah, I'd probably go Sauv Blanc.
Okay.
Mansueto.
Dave, come on, Dave.
I'm bad with the white wines. I'll go with Chardonnay though.
And
Go ahead.
anybody else?
We've got Sav from home. 3 Savs from home. 3 Savs here and 3 Chardonnays. So go on, tell me.
Amy Marshall knows her wine. Did you see what she said?
She said Sauv Blanc.
Sauv Blanc. Sauv Blanc's the winner.
I'm disqualified from this one because my wife loves the Sauv Blanc from Engine House 25. So I kind of knew, but I waited till everybody went before I came.
I'm disqualified from this because there's only but so much white pride I could take it. You know what I mean? Take into. So I mean, there's.
Yeah, you said Sauv Blanc, didn't you? Did you say Sauv Blanc?
I said Chardonnay, but
it was 50-50.
I was slurping while I was saying it, so it meant that I knew what I was talking about.
What about there's a couple.
Dave Bracely gets me every damn time, man. All right. So do you want to unveil the rest? Let's do the unveil, then we'll go another walkthrough and talk about it in case people were just dying to know, because people at home probably finished these bottles while we were busy talking. So let's talk number 2.
Yeah. How about one person? We need one person to get this right. Other than John Waybeck.
Could you do me a favor, Duane?
Yeah.
Give me like 5 wines that it could be.
Okay. So if you know that you heard the green pepper thing, John Waybeck said green pepper. That's a definite. That's a Chilean kind of thing. So maybe a couple other, maybe Argentina. Maybe I'm not a wine expert. I only know what I know.
South American grapes.
Carmenere.
What was that?
Rick at home says Sangiovese.
He's not a
Carmenere.
We've got a Carmenere.
Who said
we've got Kate said Carmenere. Sarah D'Addario said Carmenere.
What?
So what I'm asking you for is to help us out on the panel of people who are novices, me included.
Yeah.
Just give us like a multiple choice thing. Give us four guys. So let's just say Carmenere, Sangiovese, and just say 3 random
Malbec.
reds.
It's got to be in a
could be Malbec. 2 more.
Could be, let's see. Cab
Oh, well,
Franc.
mine might be Malbec.
Cab Franc.
You said
Some of these words are foreign to me. I'm being honest.
You know Cab Franc. You know our Cab.
Me and Cab Franc, we kick it on the weekends, but like, that's my Tuesday night thing.
What is Dave?
I know none of these wines.
Pete, that's what I'm getting at, man. I'm just trying to get a multiple choice question for us.
Dave, where's Dave Mansueto?
Okay, so we got so here are our options. We've got Cab Franc, Sangiovese, Carmenere. Let's throw one more at us that it could be. 2 more. Give me
Malbec,
2. Just any Malbec,
Bully Hill.
Malbec or Bully Hill. Okay, great. So we've got 5. Kate Romane, which one do you think it is?
well, now I don't know. Maybe it's Malbec because there was the Chilean little hint.
Kate,
Great.
stick with your gut. Stick with your gut.
Go with your
Carmenere.
Carmenere, Nat and David.
Yeah, we'll go with what Kate said.
Carmenere. Great.
Man, Carmenere, I love her red trench coat, so I'm gonna go with that.
Where in the world is she?
Who knows?
San
Argentina,
Diego.
maybe.
I'm gonna stick with that.
Mansueto. What does Dave Mansueto think this is?
I feel like I know it, so I'm gonna opt out of it. I'm gonna cheat.
Pete.
Okay.
Pete.
I don't
I feel like I'd be unfair.
I honestly, I don't know. I wish I knew.
Well, I made it a multiple choice. Just pick one.
What about Amy Marshall? Chime in.
Amy Marshall, you've got 8 seconds.
Patrick, repeat the options for
The
everybody.
options are Carmenere, Sangiovese,
Neither of those I
Cab
know.
Franc. There was also what was the other one
Malbec.
that threw Kate off?
Malbec.
Malbec, of course, and then
It is not.
Ripple.
Bully
I don't know what a ripple is.
Okay, fine then. Bankers Club.
Amy thought Cab Franc,
First thought, Cab Franc. Okay, there you go. Duane, what is it?
but maybe Carm. You see that?
Carmenere.
Maybe the Carm. It's the Carmenere.
Carmenere. All right. If you like the taste of it, now you know the interesting wine is Carmenere.
That's our fave.
Love a Carmenere.
Oh my
All right,
God.
fantastic. All right.
The first sip of it, though, I would have said Sangiovese. Like when the first sip I had, it was brighter, but it smoothed out a little bit.
Okay, we know what it is, and you know when Kate puts her hoodie up, it's time for round 2.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm getting stuck.
I think after we started round 2, everyone's cheeks got a little rosier. If you notice that,
Yeah.
like we're all like, I look at Kate and Kate looks, bright.
You know what? Okay, this just reminds me. This reminds me of how much I miss everybody, and I want to hang out and drink wine, beer, whatever you got with everybody soon. So
Patrick, you still look like a vampire though.
Is this the
I always look like a vampire. It's the friggin' lighting, Pete. I don't know what to do about it. It's my own problem.
Yeah.
It's the dark hair and the pale skin. If I had fangs, put me in speaking of tuxedos with tails. Anyway, Duane, walk us through. Are we ready for round 2? Does anybody have anything to add before we start round 2?
Does anybody want to know about the Carmenere grape or anything like
Please
that?
talk about the Carmenere grape.
Can somebody, I want to know more about the Carmenere. I feel like this is something that should be passed down to any young Mac out there trying to find their way. And if you pull out a bottle of this Carmenere, this leather saddle sound like smelling ass shit, and you tell her it's a Carmenere, bruh, 95% of the work is done. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you just gotta sit back and not fuck it up. You see what I'm saying? This is a not fuck it up bottle.
The day you're trying to plan a date night, is that what you're saying here?
Smartest thing Dave ever said.
So this grape, you guys want to hear about the grape a little bit?
Well, I think the time is now, Duane.
Yeah, I'll talk the first part and I'll let John talk about it because I'll tell you what.
Start talking about it.
So French grape, grown in went to Argentina and Chile, and literally it was the lost grape. They thought this grape was extinct. They couldn't find it anywhere. The Americans are down in Chile and Argentina looking at buying property and building some wineries down there, and they see these grapes and they're like, whoa, what's this? These were people from UC Davis, and they were like, we don't even know what this is. They were just calling it red grape. And they take it back to UC Davis in California and do some DNA testing. And they're like, whoa, this is Carmenere from France, from like pre-war. So when Hitler's bombing the vineyards in France and stealing all their wine, everybody's heading out and taking their vines, and they end up in South America. And so this grape right here was thought to be extinct. And then about 15 years ago, the Americans, kind of bring it back. And so a lot of people don't know about this grape. We're blending in Bordeaux.
So this is like the Jurassic Park of wine.
Yes, exactly.
Life finds a way. Carmenere found a way.
But it won't kill you. It won't kill you. It'll get you a second date probably, but it won't kill you.
As long as you don't drive, folks.
Let John talk about the Carmenere just a little bit, because Day needs some more information for date number 2.
Duane's going to get you on a date. I mean, I'm boring and not. I mean, Carmenere, it's a blending grape in France and Bordeaux. It does really well in Chile in particular. It actually does really well in Italy. That not a lot of people know.
People don't know about.
Italian Carmenere is delicious. It's really green. There's a lot of dried herbs, olives, peppers. If you get a Chilean one, it's going to be real purple, like kind of Malbec. I like them. Not a lot of people do. I think that with all the leather stuff that you guys are talking about, I mean, this wine is super drinkable.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got a parlay. I have
How much
some-
of a risk is climate change stuff on grapes like this? Sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
Sorry to bum it out, but I'm just wondering, olive oils are changing, right? Is there a threat to grapes like this? The ones that are rare?
I mean, they're the hottest place for sparkling wine in the world right now is England.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cold everywhere. It's warmer everywhere. So England, you couldn't grow a grape there. Now it's super hot property for champagne style wines. A lot of the farmers are like, oh, cool, it's global warming. Our grapes are gonna get riper, but it's not really great.
All right. I've got a legitimate. All right. I've got a legitimate question here.
Okay.
We didn't unveil number 3 yet, did we?
No.
We should probably do that before we come back, because I have generic questions about wine that I'm dying to ask, but I think we should get to number 3.
Okay. Whatever you want to do. Does anybody?
Let's unveil number 3.
Yes.
Number 3.
Yes, first.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Let's go through the thing here. Okay, Kate, you're on top because that's what the fickle finger of Dave Mansueto said. Number 3, Day. All right. So, Kate, what is it?
What are my choices?
The number 3. Okay.
No, we need multiple choice.
Okay, great. We're going to do multiple choice. Give me 4 options. Number 3.
What's the Mac Daddy of wine? What's the Mac Daddy?
I mean, I'm
Dave.
thinking of Cab Franc
Dave,
or the Pinot.
Duane, give me some
Yes.
multiple choice here.
So I'm saying.
So Cab Franc is number 1. Number
Cab
2
Franc.
could be, let's say Merlot is number 2. Merlot.
Merlot.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Cabernet,
Cab.
Red
Cab.
Zinfandel, Red Zin.
Let's
Don't-
do
not
Zin.
White Zin that Day's drinking
Right.
at home.
Gotcha.
No. Is that enough? 4?
4. Give me 5.
4. You want another one?
Okay,
Malbec.
good.
It could be a
Malbec. Okay, great.
Could be a
So
Malbec.
here we go. We've got A is what do we say it was?
You don't remember.
It's a cab. I'm gonna say cab.
Okay, Cab Franc. Somebody threw me off. I had thoughts. Okay, so what do you think
I'm
it
gonna
is?
type the options. We got
Kate,
Cab.
go.
We got Merlot.
Cab Franc, Malbec, Zinfandel, Merlot. Yeah.
Okay, it's
either
on there.
I would say it's cab. Cabernet.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
I love a cab. Okay, so
Okay.
who else?
Natalie.
Who else wants to go?
So
Na-
Day.
So I mean, I would say, I mean, you know what I mean. This is one of those like, so wine night, like the half off wine nights that they used to do back in the day down on the south side. This was one of them dips. This is definitely one of them Cabernet Sauvignon. You know what I mean, the long one. It's the double name dip that we used to get, and I mean, have it on the bottle, like have it on the table. So Cabernet Sauvignon,
Sauvignon Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc.
Pete's had this before.
Okay.
I called in a lifeline and I was told the cab.
Okay, so Pete says cab. Natalie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dave.
So for me, I thought originally the Zin, but then I thought it could be the Merlot.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Merlot.
Okay. Taco Mancini.
Spicy, but the heat is there. I'm going cab.
Okay, here's the deal. I cannot give the answer because I heard what it was.
You did?
Before in pre-show. I overheard it.
You're a
cool.
cheater.
So I'm not a cheater. I'm not going to give the answer.
Well,
But
cheater.
I will say this. All of the options that people said tonight are awesome. And also the Zin at Engine House 25 is legendary for whoever brought that up. So
was Natalie.
so
Yeah.
What about
I'm just saying.
Amy Marshall and Jason? Come on, chime in.
Anybody at home? Oh wait, first thought was cab, could be Zin, said Amy Marshall. Somebody said Zen AF, whatever that means, somewhere.
Zen is fuck.
Zin is Frank.
Ah.
Zin is Frank.
Zin as Frank. Okay. All right. So as everybody chimed in.
You know, normally,
Go ahead.
most Zins don't taste like cabs except for in this building. You know, this building, our wines all kind of start tasting a bit similar because of the barrels and the way we're racking. And I put Zin in a cab barrel and cab in a Zin barrel and Zin in the Malbec barrel. You know, they go around and around the room. And at some point, they all get a little bit of a similar taste.
I didn't realize it.
But this is the Cabernet Sauvignon. Day, you were right. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. This
You gotta break your jaw to say some of this shit.
All right. So I got a question, right?
Okay.
I got two solid questions. Can you decant wine too long? And what's the threshold? You said you decanted one at like 9 a.m. and drank it at night. I mean, if I do that with one of these, it's not going to be good 8 hours later. It'll be good, but it won't be as good. What's like the peak? And can you know that?
It might be. These wines can hang overnight, you know, in a bottle, not in a decanter, kind of just breathing. But you know, this cab, that Carmenere, the next day is pretty damn good. Go ahead, Patrick.
What's your thought on these things where you put the like they're selling these things where you put it in and it kind of slurps through it when you're pouring the wine through the thing? Does that open it for you? Do those things work? Are they legit?
Yeah, I think they're legit. There's some nice, you know, the glass.
It's like slurping for you.
Dave doesn't have to slurp as much.
Okay. I love slurping. I love to slurp.
I know he loves to slurp.
Don't take that away from me. I love it.
I won't. But yeah, you can decant too long if you left it overnight in a decanter. I would throw some cellophane over top or something if it's in there, or put it back in the bottle. I put it back in the bottle.
One other question before I jump. You could tell us what to drink next of the 1, 2, or 3 while I do this, so everyone can on the thing can start pouring. Pick a number, Duane. What's next number?
Scrap 1 and drink 2 or 3.
All right, so everybody go to 2. Everybody go to 2 or 3.
Yeah,
let me know what it is when it's going. We're going to talk about how it is on the change. Let's go to 2. Let's go backwards. Let's work our way backwards. So while that's happening, I'm going to ask you a question. So when somebody swirls the wine in a glass, right? And they say, "Oh, look at these legs." Legs. What
Yeah.
does that mean? Does that mean it's like high in alcohol? What is the meaning of legs when you swirl it in the glass and it's got those things?
That was like nonsense.
No,
well, we're gonna find out, Natalie.
John can check. It's the alcohol because once you
is it legit?
Yeah, it's the alcohol.
This whole time.
John's
Let's
gonna,
come over here.
we lost our computer over there.
That's okay, buddy.
So this is the
John was top
ruining information here. Legs is viscosity, resistance to flow. So alcohol is thicker than water and sugar is thicker than water. So if you do like this, if you have really slow moving legs, it's most likely, and it's always a most likely, higher in alcohol or there's sugar in the wine. Or with global warming, it could be both.
So slow moving legs would be like number 2.
Probably 3 would be probably a little slower.
Well, let me just pour that now, John Boy.
I'm assuming 3 is higher in alcohol than 2, but I could be wrong.
We're gonna find out.
You should.
We're gonna do this live.
It's on my hand. You don't question.
Well, I'll tell you this: the sommelier is absolutely right.
Yeah, me.
So I don't know.
So I got a couple. Can I ask a couple questions? I got a couple because it's been burning, right?
Day, you have the floor.
So first, I forgot the first one because I'm drunk. The second one was Kate. This like with all the earthy or whatever. Like what do you soak? What kind of meat am I soaking? Oh, okay, I remember the first one. Okay, this is the second one. The second one, Kate, what are we soaking in this? Like, am I putting the meat in this second one, like with the notes and all that? Like, am I cooking with this in some way? Like, am I gonna reduce this and drizzle it on something? And then the second one was because I was asking my fiance before all this. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like, I thought she was gonna drink tonight. She's like, oh, I drank last night because it was St. Patrick's Day and birthdays and things of that nature. But like, I was like, well, how long can I keep this? And I think you answered that. I don't know if you did. But yeah, how long can we keep these bottles? Like, can we do 2-3 nights? How do we keep them? And secondly, again, Kate, what are we soaking this in? Like, what meat are we soaking these in this wine?
This number 2?
Yeah, this number 2. Like, what is this reduction somewhere going on? Like,
yeah, I would do a braise in this. Like, you could do a little. Like, I initially thought. Because it was like brighter at the beginning, but like I feel like either like a gamey lamb bolognese and pour a little bit of that in your bolognese sauce, or you could just do a beef ragu, like just a stew would be great.
Rabbit.
Like a beef stew.
Holy shit.
Yeah, rabbit would be good. I mean, what's hard to figure out is that you can drink this on your own, but like if you were like going into number 3, and then you're going to need something even like a bigger thing to hang with number 3. If you were planning a meal with all 3 of these wines, it'd be meat heavy.
What if you don't eat meat? I'm going to speak for Nat and pretend I'm also not eating meat at all.
Just something with fat. I know that there's like, if you could create something that just has a lot of like I love this word, viscosity in your mouth to hold up to the wine, and then a little brightness too. So like some tomato and maybe, I don't know. Now I'm getting like, I've drank too much. I'm talking too much.
Yeah, no, you're not
Some
talking.
mushrooms.
You're talking just enough.
You know how you can make mushrooms kind of taste like it? You ever do some mushrooms or something like wine? Is that a thing?
Something earthy against the earthy there. I mean, I would definitely, if you were going to do a vegetarian vegan meal against this, save the mushrooms till the end and do something maybe like cashew cheese or something tomatoey with the Cabernet.
Mm-hmm.
Save the mushrooms, ride the cowboy.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I keep on twirling these number 2 and number 3. And the legs are they're close. I'm definitely checking
They are.
I'm checking legs here. Like this is something happening here.
Alcohol content. On
Just
the back
another
of the
Thursday
bottle,
night, checking legs.
They're probably about the same.
Delicious.
They're probably both about 15% alcohol. So,
Well, I'll tell you
I
what.
have a question. I do
Wait,
have a question.
Kate has a question. Jared's
Okay.
got a question too. Duane in the house. I probably owe him money for wine. Jared Wickerman.
Do we
That
need
could be
someone
legit.
over there? I don't know.
Jared, we still need to have you on the show as a guest, man. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Jared, thank you.
but
Hopefully you're drinking.
We never-
Open something.
We never answered Day's question for his second question. though.
Day's
How long?
Day's second question. Go on.
Two-part question to Kate.
Yeah, how do I preserve these bottles as long as I can? Like, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, you know, I'm an alcoholic, so it's not going to be more than like 3 or 4 days. So, you know, how do
It's a
we
lot of
keep
days
them
for a bottle
at-
of wine, Day.
Yeah. Apparently, I didn't know that. So, like, I mean, how do we keep these?
I've never got to day 3
Yeah.
in my life.
Do you have the little the rubber stopper that you pump it? You put the little rubber.
Who has that, Duane?
Do the pump?
Nobody really has that. Like
Go
the
get
like the thing that you pump up a
get that.
basketball with.
Wait, what's Pete?
You,
has something.
you mean like you want me to go into her drawer next to the
broken
bed?
cork.
Like, find something? Like, I don't understand. You talking about pumpers? Like, what do you?
Nobody
like,
has that.
You gotta suck the oxygen out of the bottle.
I know what it is, Dave.
Like, you mean like
you need
for
to be a
babies?
professional to have that.
You can have all those fancy Jimmy
Gadgets.
Just throw it in the fridge.
Throw it in the fridge.
Oh, put it in the fridge. Okay, so what do you do if let's say you cork it poorly, right? And you screw up the cork, right?
I'm gonna be honest,
And
is
you
anyone in
destroy the cork
anyone
because you
in
hit
this
it.
group can have a bottle
What do
of
you
wine
do
and
to?
it's all
What do you do? Do you put like some cellophane on the top, put it in the fridge,
Yeah.
or what is your thought?
I mean, we have a container that has corks for the week. Is usually about 50 corks a week. We always have corks about.
Yeah.
You know,
Put a cork in it. Throw it in the
and
fridge.
throw it in the fridge.
The refrigerator. Okay. Do you recommend that with red and white wine?
Yeah, and then obviously pull the red out, you know, a little bit before you're going to drink it. I mean, if we open a bottle at home and it doesn't go the same day, it's gone by noon the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a problem.
Just drink
I'm not gonna lie
more.
to you.
Drink more. He's saying.
That's not. It's
So
a
if
good
you
problem.
don't
to
drink
have.
more, like say how long? Like would you?
Yeah,
let it
yeah.
sit
What's
in
the cap shelf life that you would put? Say so like because you want to preserve like your product, right? Like, yeah, I know that like IPAs when they come off and like certain styles of beer, like you know, you like once you open a can of beer, it's done, right? But even in storing that, like if you get a new IPA, you know, it might be 30 days before you open it or whatever. So like if you want to like if you open it up that night and you invite other guests over, you as the person that's selling that wine, what's the cap life that you would want them to have that on the shelf and serve it to other people before they say, nah, fuck it, it's just me?
It's probably a couple days, to be honest. It depends on the wine. You know, there's
Maybe 3.
the acidity of the wine. You know, wines from Europe are going to have higher acid. They're going to, you know, and more tannin is going to be preservative in that. You know, if you're having a bunch of wine that you can't finish, there's this spray called Private Preserve that Amazon sells. It's like $7. You just do like 2 quick
Boom.
sprays. It's argon gas. It like does this little blanket over the wine. Oxygen is the devil. If you want to hold on to a bottle. So if you have something that, hey, this bottle might last over like 5 days, you know, invest in that. If you can't finish wines.
So
I
you
mean,
go on to you go onto Amazon, you get some Dracar Noir for the wine, you spray it in there, you cap it, and you get that Dracar, and it's all
not
good.
about to,
You get a little bit up behind the ears, and you go out to the club.
y'all not about to give me 3 bottles of big wine and then wine shame me. Like, well, I mean, if you can't finish your bottles, so then
The
I
only
guess you got-
person that
Yeah,
wine
you know wine.
shaming you is Jared.
Wine
Jared.
shaming.
Jared.
I opened up that third one and it was like, oh, this is a night. Like, yeah, I mean, like,
Dude,
don't
no one man needs to drink 3 bottles of wine in a day. There's no way I'm finishing these 3 bottles.
If you got a tiny liver over there, then I suggest you get some Argon. Like,
look at the size of this bottle.
Oh my god!
Look at the size of that bottle.
I haven't had more than a beer in like the past 6 months, so this
Looks like a Franco Harris bottle, Duane.
I mean, there's meetings I probably need to go to. Let's be honest, but
Yeah.
I understand. So okay, so that said, other questions that have been coming in from the people, the viewing audience: screw caps versus cork. Is there really a difference?
Yeah, of course. Screw cap works. Corks are traditional and old fashioned and very French, but hey, screw caps work.
You can get as good a bottle of wine with a screw cap as you do a cork.
Buy a bottle of Plump Jack. He's the one who kind of brought it in. You can't know most screw cap wines are cheap crap. Can I say crap on here, Pat?
Well, you can say anything you want, Duane. I mean, we've dropped every letter word so far.
No.
And if we go through round 2 here, because I've just re-poured over here to my right. Jared chiming in from home said, in all fairness, this is for you, Day. He didn't realize there were 3 bottles of wine involved, and he gives you props, and he says he's sorry, essentially, for calling you out. What is that? Number 2. All right. I'm gonna bring out the deuce here with Day. I just poured some myself. Off camera. Natalie, what are you drinking, Natalie, right now?
I'm really into the Carmenere.
The Carmenere.
Yeah.
So for the viewing audience at home, what number is that?
Number 2. I really love it. I loved it in the beginning and I love it now. I love it.
She loves the Carmenere. Duane, where do those grapes come from?
Chile. 18 days on a boat, all the way from Chile. Yeah.
It was worth the ride.
Were we supposed to pick a winner? Because that's the winner. I don't know. I know we weren't because that number 2 is definitely my favorite. Like, I mean, that is I like flavor. I like alcohol. I love all those things. But like that was the most complex of the 3, and just like it just keeps you wanting. It's dry enough. It's complex enough, and it just keeps you. As soon as you get done with it, you want more. Like, you know what I mean, it's a dangerously easily finishable bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It tricks.
I love
that's
that.
why we don't need to talk about
Dave called it a wet finish, and that's good.
Dave called it a wet finish, and that's good. Man, if you've got that on your sexy bingo card, you know that we've got wet finish, we've got sexy, we've got full-bodied. Everything about wine is sex. So just so you know, that's why we're here tonight. Pete, what do you think?
Pete, are you
it's awesome, man.
Honestly, I'm more of a white wine drinker. The red wines kind of upset my stomach, but I am really enjoying the number 2. But I also haven't had this much booze in like 6 months, so
nice.
I'm kind of out of my mind right now.
Okay, so here's the deal. Hey there.
I've had a cheat right next to me the whole
That's
time.
good. We would prefer her opinions on this wine right now.
You've mostly been hearing like when I sound sophisticated in any means, it's generally her whispering something in my ear. So
let's say hi. Can she pop on camera?
No.
She's like hiding.
That's okay. You can hide. Show me a hand. Show me a hand. Left hand.
Left hand. He wants a left hand. Yeah.
There it is. All right, I'll take it. That's all we needed to see. Okay, so I totally got sidetracked. Agnieszka showed up and everything changed for me. Okay, so here's the deal. Of number 2, like obviously the white is great. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. It's great. It's good for everything that we've said. If I go to a restaurant, right, and I don't know what I'm gonna get, I would kill to know that the number 3 wine was on the menu, right? I would order it no matter what, right? If this was a year and a half ago and I went to a restaurant, right, that would happen. That said, I'm loving number 2. Okay, like if that's my thing, I'm gonna go with that. But I would so I don't know wines. You know what I mean? I understand the difference between which wine tastes like what. But if I go to a restaurant and I get like a menu and like some of them, they give you iPads, some restaurants with like fucking 45 different wines of each time. I don't know what's what. I end up calling you, Duane, and I'm like, hey, what do I buy here? No, that one's $50. No, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, so we go through the whole list. I don't know anything about that. But if I know that it's going to taste like something, it's this. But I do not think that the number 2 wine was going to be on the menu anywhere else other than Engine House 25.
Well, there's a couple good Carmenieres out there. And if you talk to like the Somm, don't be nervous to talk to somebody at a restaurant like this guy. Right? He'll come out and talk to you, and he's going to try to steer you towards exactly what you want. Well, maybe he'll steer you away.
I'm on a couch. What are you talking about?
He's on a couch. Yeah. So if you go to his house, he might steer you towards a Carmenere, but
gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
No, like, are you on the floor? Are you on the floor at restaurants? Do you like? Are you able to go to tables to talk to people, or are you're past that?
We can.
No. I mean, pre-COVID, I was either a poulet or a fish most nights. And, you know, for me, it's like, like any place that serves anything, you know, food, wine, beer, whatever, you got to train your staff. And, you know, if you want to drink Carmenere, just say, hey, I like this kind of wine, and hopefully they can steer you to that. I mean, for me, the worst thing you can do, you know, for somebody like me is like, I'm going to embarrass you because you want to drink Carmenere. It's like, no, you know, if you want to drink whatever, you know, we're going to get you to the right wine and you're going to be happy with it. But, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I've been on the couch for a year. So, you know,
he's a little rusty.
Yeah. I love how he's mad. He's just like, listen, man. I mean, if you're a beginner, you can maybe take this. I don't know. I mean, but it is delicious. And I am a beginner. Like, I mean, because as a beer, I do the same thing with beer. I'm like, oh well, I mean, if you want to drink a Belgian, then I mean, you know, I guess, and then eventually graduate to an IPA. You know what I mean? But it's that same kind of that understanding. And for me, this is like, if I want to get into wine, like this shit is really like, I'm like, yo, I could drink that and enjoy it because of the complexity and because of some of the flow profiles. But what I did hear earlier, and this is the question that I have, what I did hear earlier was that you felt as if some of the characteristics in the wine were more attributed to this particular winery and the method in which they I don't know, made it. I don't know what you call, is it called making? Wine making?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way it was made or whatever. So like how much, so if I were to go to another place and ask for the San Diego, the Carmenere, right? If I were to ask for this in other places, what would be different, right? Like what would be the same, and then what would be unique to this one? Because like I really do love that saddle. I love that, like, yeah, I mean, some of that rustic, you know, like 90s cologne commercial, like that comes with that. Yeah, I mean, how much? Yeah, I mean, like how much am I gonna get from other places versus this?
Gio.
Yeah.
They're not going to have that leather, probably. You know, the Carmenere.
Cool water cologne.
There's great Carmenere out there, but it's probably not going to be like this. This was aged for 4 years in oak barrels. Nobody's Carmenere, I don't think, on the planet has been aged for 4 years in oak barrels. They're 2 to 3 max. Probably max. Yeah, nobody at 3. Probably 1 to 2. You know, so they're not going to be as oaky. And what John thinks, you know, I over oak my wines, and we like it oaky here. But what John's thinking is that we take it past the oak, we're too oaky, and then it starts changing maybe, and that's where the leather, and that's where some of these other, you know, nuances and characteristics
Duane,
come
can I ask you a
out
question?
As we're taking it too far.
Duane, asking you a question. Yeah. When you say you over oak the wines, do you leave them in the barrels, or do you rack them to a different oaky barrel?
Well, we rack them through different barrels, so it's technically in oak. It's all these 4 years. It's out for a minute while it goes into another barrel, so it's still in oak.
Right.
but just different barrels. But nobody's doing that. Not many people are doing that. So these wines are very unique. And all I can say before I forget to tell you guys, this Carmenere is good, but it's nothing compared to my next Carmenere that we named the Candy Carmenere. It's insane. Wait till you guys come out and taste that. Come by. Day, you got to come by and taste. We got to taste something out of a barrel. You're the barrel guy. So come down.
Barrel is life. I don't know if you know anything about beer and the whole stout situation. Like barrel is life for me. You know what I mean? So I love whiskey. I love stouts. I love wood. I love fires. I love barbecue, charcoal, apple, like all of that. So yeah, hell yeah. Give me the wood. You know what I mean? Pause.
We could
Pause.
do a whole little group of who's involved tonight. We should all come out here once COVID's over.
Once everybody's fully vaccinated and we're clean and clear.
Is it even sexier? That's what I want to know.
Is it even sexier? We're back to square one with Natalie.
So sexy.
If we're talking about bottles, that should be the name of the next one that you bring out. Even sexier. Like that's the next.
Yes.
You know what I mean,
We've got two great pieces of branding tonight on the show, Mr. Rieder.
Yeah.
We've got even sexier, and what was the other one? With
Pittsburgh Yak or what?
Yin's Yak.
Yin's Yak.
Yins or yak.
Yins or Yak. That's what it was. Thank you, Day. So that's tight. I will say something else. This is one of my favorite. This is like, seeing a Sasquatch. This is like one of those magical moments. You saw the Loch Ness Dragon tonight. Kate Romane's hair is down.
You guys bumped me when I was trying to put it back up. And then
No, keep it down, Kate. Keep it down.
It was down. It was
Keep it
everywhere.
down. I'm just saying, anybody that's still watching the show tonight, you got to see magic happen. All right. This is one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. It takes 1 year of really bullshit living under COVID-19, but we're here. So okay. So let's start over. I'm gonna move to number 3 right now.
We're not on
Y'all
3
keep
yet.
talking.
3. What's 3?
Y'all keep talking.
We're on to 4. We're on to number 4, Patrick.
Duane, you only gave us
What's
3
for
bottles.
the Meritage?
Oh.
Oh yeah, so that was my question. Do you blend your wines?
Yes. We have a great Meritage. Who knows? Somebody out there, a couple of people that are chiming in tonight. Maybe the Swainars, maybe Amy. We have a killer Meritage.
We got a wet finish. Bring back the Grenache, says Jared Wickerman.
Jared, the Grenache. Remember that, Patrick? The Grenache.
I do know about the Grenache.
Oh, I wish I had a couple barrels of that.
That was magical.
Rick saying wet finish. The whole night wet finish.
Well, see, everything. Okay, here's a question for both of you. Does everything in description of wine end up with kind of like a sexual overtone?
Ask Rick. No. Natalie, anybody chime in? I don't care. Maybe.
Only if you have like a
good
mind.
That's how it started. Kate, you got any? I can't say a word. My wife. Well, my wife.
Gorgeous.
Kate.
Gorgeous.
I'm more red now.
No, you just
This is good. This is good.
look at your poor dog back there, knocked out. You've been giving him the Carmenere.
I think
You know what?
good wine is sensual,
I agree with you, Natalie.
Yeah.
I was joking around earlier. I agree with you, Natalie. And I will say this. Snacks is actually quite kind of like low key tonight. Usually Snacks is on his back spread eagle at this point of the show.
Out. Were you walking him long walks today, Kate? Okay.
No, he had to go to the vet. He did not. He's sick.
Oh
He had
no.
to- Yeah,
He needs some
Yeah.
Carmenere.
he does.
Okay, before we get into the snacks conversation, you know what we all need? We all need some Dave Mansueto. Dave, let's see your face. Dave, come on. There you are. Now let's talk, Dave.
the
I know you have a wine question, Dave.
I got a
please,
few.
please incorporate balloons in any way that you can, man.
I love the balloon thing. I feel like I discovered that flavor, and but I love that flavor. No,
that was a magical moment tonight, Dave, when you talked about that. That was magical television.
It's one of those things you remember. It's that Arles, the smell brings you back, right? Being an American wine
Am
maker.
I gonna finish 3 bottles of wine?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Go on.
What's amazing is that you could reference that. Like I would never remember that taste and that smell, and you just had it right there.
Beach ball just was like but olive. I like because Carmenere is my fave. Olive, I couldn't put my finger on it, and then olive was it. I don't know why I remember beach ball.
It's all a little.
What is your bat right? Like I mean, like what what is it? What is it that you like gave you that experience and knowledge in flavor and sense? Like, I mean, like, again, like Kate is a goddamn chef, right? I am a professional alcoholic. Like Natalie is like she's a journalist in this arts and entertainment world. Whatever. Everybody has a background. What the hell is
an asshole?
Were you? Yeah. I mean, that is just the tip of the spear of asshole, right?
That's me.
So you what is your background in
nutshell?
All those, right? Like, yeah. I mean, you got Pete, and he's clearly a desert hippie, right? He's tripped on so many things that like he's
Polish desert hippie.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is your background over here, man? Where did you get this knowledge of flavor and sensory experiences?
Are we sending that to
I feel
Dave,
like I should set this up. I feel like I need to set this
Duane,
up.
or who are we asking that to?
Is that a Dave question?
Dave, this is Dave Mansueto. Like, where'd you get this?
Before Dave talks, Dave, I want you to speak to this, but I will say this. Of all the people that I've met in my life, and I've known Dave's one of my oldest friends, okay? I will say this. He is, when you say a jack of all trades and every man, he fits into that thing. He can do, he can't do pretty much anything poorly. Except I've never played basketball with him, so I don't know about that. But like, I will say this: like, he knows shit about absolutely nothing.
Dave knows everything about laser tag.
Like we're talking laser tag, wine, like as a Renaissance man. I'm going to go with Renaissance
Pizza,
man.
Like, yeah,
you could put Dave Mansueto in any room with any group of people, and everybody will come out like respecting Dave. That's the one thing I can say about him.
A year into this whole thing, this whole social experiment that what we are doing is like Dave, like every time I'm on the show, this motherfucker keeps surprising me. And I'm like who the fuck, like who built you? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dave gets it all.
Damn. You know what I mean? And he's in this like you're like Batman. You're like, how the fuck did you know all this shit? There's got to be a dark background somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you who Alfred is. It would be one Ellen Mansueto.
It's my mom. Blame my mom. She's here.
She's watching the show right now. She chimed in about 10 minutes ago. She just commented. Yep, that's right. And don't forget Dave's aunt, Maureen.
I'm just I fixate on stuff, you know what I mean? I like to fixate on stuff, creep out and punish people, you know what I mean? Like I'm the kind of guy I'll find you in the room and I'll talk your ear off about Chuck E. Cheese for 5 hours. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You don't want
Dave,
it.
do you own a Switch? Do you own a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Anyway, okay.
So, I'm a punisher.
Dave, take it. The mic has been passed to you, sir.
I want to flip it around. I want to flip it around on you guys. I love
do
you
it.
all.
That's what you do. That's a Dave Mansueto thing.
No,
Merry
that's
Christmas,
a Dave
everybody.
Mansueto thing. That's exactly what he does.
It's a defense mechanism.
I interview too many motherfucking people, and like, no, you're not gonna know. We want to know. Yeah, then he disappears. You see what I'm saying? A year into this social experiment, and we don't know who the hell this man is, and then he just.
Okay. I'm going to say this.
I just want to say I admire Dave because he's a man of my own heart.
Okay,
Like
I'm
he
going to tell
knows
you this.
so
I'm
much
going to tell you
about
this
so many
right now.
things, and
Dave,
is so
Dave just
versatile.
brought himself back on. I will say this.
Dave.
Dave is all of that. And here's the deal. Of all the people I've met in my life, I still don't know. I've known him for I still don't know. Like
That's part of your charm, Dave.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's after 10 o'clock, so we're 2 hours over.
I love you guys. This is getting weird.
I'm gonna say this before we're gonna go back to the wine here in a second, but I will say this.
What about the wine?
We're gonna go back to the wine, Duane. It's cool. I'm just gonna say one thing. Dave Mansueto is a fucking unicorn, and I just said the F word. So that I've never said the F word in a year. So we're back to the show. So back to this. So Duane, tell me again what number 2 was.
Carmenere.
And number 3?
Cabernet Sauvignon, the Mac Daddy of wines.
I will say this, okay, to people at home who haven't thought about this, go to EH25, get your order, EH25.com, get your order in, buy both of these wines, and if you haven't gotten it, get in on it with us. It is worth your while.
So
and
back
we're
to
here
Dave.
every day, and you can order, pick up anytime. We're here. You know, if you need wine, just
Sexual overtones made up of notes. Okay, that just came from Dave's aunt.
Wow.
What? Damn.
I like that.
Magical. There it is.
Hey,
strong.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on, Patrick. Here's some.
Dude, I know we're to that end of time. We probably have to bid adieu to the sommelier and the venter.
I feel bad I didn't thank them for the wine.
They're still here. Natalie?
It was so good.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
Enjoyed it.
Please.
Can I ask one more question?
Please.
For the sommelier before he leaves, right? Like I admire what you do and the knowledge you gain. For folks that just want to do what you do, right? Because what you do, like, it looks cool as shit. You get to be cool and sip and slurp and be fancy and all that. How does one like are there some websites or there's some places like to get the education? How does somebody get into doing what you're doing?
You got another 2 hours. Drink a lot.
Is there training somewhere? Like, can somebody
There's really not in the U.S. In Europe there is, but in the U.S., I mean, there's accreditations that you kind of like, here, take this test in a year. What's on it? I don't know. That's your problem. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the Cicerone test, I guess, for beer. For me, if you want to be like, I want to know more about wine, buy a couple books. If somebody wants to reach out to Duane, I can give them some things.
We can drink together.
Just drink a lot and figure out what you like, and then buy a couple intro wine books. Kevin Draley, Windows on the Wine or Windows on the World is good. Wine for Beginners by Ken Fredrickson, who's a master sommelier, is fantastic. There's a big upheaval in wine right now because of that test, and it's.
So how can
here?
are you available if somebody was like, yo, I really want to get into this wine thing, right? And I want to know more about that. 2 things, right? Because like I do, with this festival and whatnot, we're always trying to share the knowledge. So if somebody wanted to hire you, say, to share your knowledge into how to get into this thing, and get in contact with you and say, hey, how do I get more involved? How do people find you and what you do, and and start that journey? Because this is dope what you do. You get paid to talk about what you love. How do people find you to pay you more for what you love?
Shit, I never thought about that.
Wow.
I guess reach out to.
He's a professional.
I don't want to drop stuff on this.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like what you do as a brewer is as complex as what I do. during COVID, I went on the whiskey tip that, studying whiskey production and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I guess the best answer is like, reach out to, Engine House and Duane knows how to find me. I just don't want to put my stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find me though.
No, you can track them down. But here's one little quick recommendation. If you got somebody who wants to get started in this, go get the book Cork Dork. Cork Dork.
No.
You guys should all,
No.
Cork Dork.
You know who Mr. Pinot Grigio is
Cork
though?
Dork. No.
That's me.
Get the book Cork Dork.
The dude that was
And then
drinking Pinot
watch-
Grigio, that's me.
And then watch the documentary Somm. I'm not saying anything, but there's lots of things you guys could start, doing out there. Watch that documentary Somm, and then the part 1, 2, 3.
All right.
And there's a good start. And then reach
right.
out.
Gotta do your hours.
And then we're here every day, 7 days a week. We're here 10 to 6. You guys can go online if you need wine. Let us know. And
EH25.com. It's on the screen, folks.
Yeah. And then we're going to start some things up here soon. We're going to be doing some tastings. We're going to be out in the parking lot. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, it's
so
April 4th.
things are loosening up.
They've got
Yeah,
swag and they've got lots of
Oh.
different wines to choose from. Look at the website. It's killer. You can't miss it.
Oh,
So there it is right there.
Lars-
Engine House
Lars-
25. The
Yeah.
Franco's Italian Army Sangiovese.
come on.
So is
That'll
that Franco? Did Franco himself choose that blend?
He did. That's a whole nother show. But yeah, there's the Malbec right there. Eddie Vedder drinks it on stage.
Eddie
This-
Vedder not only drinks it on stage, wears the T-shirts of the Clemente Museum when he plays. So that's pretty sweet. So you got
Yo,
from Smokey Robinson to Eddie Vedder. Go ahead, Dave.
I just want to say that I stopped by to get the wine. He told me all about the Roberto Clemente Museum. Took me on a tour and then told me about Eddie Vedder. I was actually at the Pearl Jam concert back at the Console in 2013, and we had that whole connection. And like he was like, yeah, the shirt that he was wearing, that's us. And I was like, yo, what? And I was like, yo, my fiance loves it. That's how I got to that concert. And like I had a T-shirt and I brought it home, and I was like, I was a hero. You know what I mean? Like, so shout out to you guys for that. This last couple of days has been. We were talking about that, and I was just like, yo, she's gonna love this, and she noticed it, and it was a great connection. And again, it's also one of those things where like wine is one of those few connections that we can have. Beer, not so much. Liquor, not so much. But wine, yeah. And Eddie Vedder also. So thank you, man.
Got it. Very cool. Glad she liked it.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. Well, folks, I think we've gone to the 2-hour mark. I've got some wine to drink still. I'm sure some of you at home do too, and I'm sure that some people here on the show do as well. But
You guys haven't been drinking much during COVID, like we have. I've been drinking every day here with John.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, not every day, but almost every day.
okay, so
keep
here's the
drinking.
deal. We're gonna wrap the show here, but here's the deal, Duane. Is there any chance you want to walk us around a little bit? Are you mobile? Are you mobile?
We could do it.
All right. Give us a little walk through
First of
to
all,
end this out. If Kate Romane, Natalie Bensavenga, Dave Bracey has anything else to say, please feel free. I'm gonna keep on drinking here. I don't know which wine I'm gonna finish.
I don't this pandemic, and again, shout out to Dave. And this pandemic has been long and arduous.
So is this show.
This show has been long and arduous. But I mean, honestly, I have made a lot of new friends and connections and understanding of the world throughout it. And, I'm very appreciative of where we're at. A year later, I feel like a lot of us through this show have come out, stronger than how we went into the pandemic. Like starting the show, I felt very afraid and weird and uncertain. And at the end of the show, I feel like it was a very worthwhile endeavor. I feel more confident than I did coming into it. And man, I feel like I don't know what's going to happen after this, but like the connections, everything has been made are not going to end when the pandemic ends. You know what I mean? And I just want to give the flowers where they're due and say, yo, great job on everything. So I appreciate you guys inviting me to this. And shout out to that. I mean, cheers.
Yeah.
And Dave, I agree with you, man. Thanks for being a part of it. Everybody that's been a part of it, thank you. Thank you.
Happy
all.
birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody. That's good. So here's the deal. Natalie, Day, Kate, if you need to roll, feel free. I know everybody's got work days and shit to do tomorrow. Duane's going to take us through a walk. Day just moved me and made me like start actually realizing the moment that we're at right now. We're literally 365 plus days in to this shit of the last year.
Danny boy.
That was last night on St. Patrick's Day. Pete kept singing Danny Boy.
We're good.
And it moved me. It moved me to something.
This is like the most fun I've had in a long time, just because I haven't been out drinking with anybody in a while. So it feels really fun to feel like we're out somewhere having a drink together. So
soon, right?
I hope. I really appreciate all of you guys, and I really love this show and the platform and the opportunity that it's given me personally to just showcase so many amazing people around the city. So I love you guys, and I love the show. So, and it's just wonderful to be here. So thanks for all of the support over the past year, because it really did keep me like feeling hopeful and feeling so creative and engaged, because it's been a rough year. So for all of us creatives out there, it's, to feel motivated. So thank you for the platform and the space.
Shit, thank you, Natalie, for everything you brought to the table here. Like literally, we're just like Pete, Dave, and I are just three assholes just trying to like figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, so you guys are bringing you, Day, and Kate are like bringing like the magic to this whole thing here.
Every time I'm on, I learn something new, cool happening in the city, or somebody that's doing something amazing. Like, that's so hopeful. It's great. And I just want to say, every time I get to be on with everybody here, it's such a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, these are the nicest things that I've probably ever heard in my life. Y'all are awesome. Like,
and it only took 3 bottles.
No, it's not the last night. This is just like 1 year, Duane. Duane's like been waiting to do the tour for like 5 minutes, and he's like, "God damn it, my wife wants me to get home."
You guys just shut the fuck up
I
already.
I gotta walk the dog.
I
I gotta walk the dog. Just let me show you the goddamn winery. All right. So Duane's gonna take us for a little tour. We're gonna keep drinking. If anybody wants to leave, feel free and loved. Day and Natalie are going to be here tomorrow talking about shit. Natalie's got a 5 minutes with tomorrow. Day's got we're going to talk local beer and anything else he wants to talk about. Kate's going to be back next week.
I hope we finish these bottles tomorrow.
Let's see what. Actually, everyone needs to take a picture of the whatever bottles are left tomorrow morning, because I want to see, because number 2 is gone. Number 3 is almost gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some real shit right there.
All right,
I can see daylight. All right. Everybody get going. We're gonna do a quick walkthrough.
Love you guys. Happy
anybody
birthday.
wants to stay. Happy birthday, Day, Natalie, Kate.
Patrick.
Y'all gotta roll. Duane, show me some stuff.
What if I come back
Good night,
tomorrow?
guys.
Go walk
You
through
know what,
this?
Duane? Come back tomorrow.
Here, come.
If you don't want to just show us what's behind you.
We got to show you Eddie Vedder's barrel.
Show me Eddie Vedder's barrel.
Come on, Eddie Vedder's barrel.
Look, I'm a fan of Pearl Jam. Okay, I am a fan of Eddie Vedder.
Oh, it's dark in here. See, it's too dark.
It's not too dark. I can see it. Look, Eddie Vedder himself. Okay, put the camera. Hey, who's working the camera, Duane?
It's not Eddie Vedder.
It's probably not. Are we going to get Eddie Vedder on the show, Duane?
We could get Eddie Vedder on the show.
All right, let's get Eddie Vedder on the show.
Okay.
Here's the deal. We'll work out a deal. We'll get Eddie Vedder on the show. Pete, stop it. You're hurting this, Pete. Pete's actually a fan. He's wearing flannel, for Christ's sake. He hasn't evolved past the 90s. But okay, we would like Eddie Vedder to come on the show sometime. But in the meantime, show me the barrel.
Brooke. What about Brooke with glasses?
Oh, that would be nice. I would prefer Brooke. We can't really see Brooke. I know who Brooke is.
Well, they know.
Look, Duane is also one of the premier photographers in the country. So there's a picture of Brooke a ways away there. Fantastic. Anyway, like you're seeing little pieces of this winery. Like when I tell you that it's a magical place, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, if you can take a tour, please take a tour.
We're going to open on April 8th, Patrick. Opening day, April 8th. Right here, we're going to get.
What are you going to do? How are you going to work that out, COVID-wise?
April 4th. I get my second shot tomorrow. And
you will, but I'm talking about how people coming through. Now, I know you guys have been extraordinarily like you've been on point with COVID protocols. You've been social distancing. You've been keeping people distanced. Yeah. How?
We're going to do small groups. You have to come with your own group. So it's your family. It's your little pod.
You don't just show up.
And then we're going to have masks. No, you can't just show up. You got to, book it. You got to book with.
And can you get that at eh25.com, or is there a better way to do that?
Always safe and small.
Is there a better way to get contact for that? Is that through the Clemente Museum or for the wine?
ClementeMuseum.com. Yeah.
ClementeMuseum.com. All right, fantastic. All right, let's do it. Let's do a quick tour. Take me around. We got lots of barrels. Show me some barrels.
Barrels. We'll go back here. Okay.
When I say this, while Duane's walking, it's a magical place, folks.
Barrels.
Okay, those are barrels. Whose barrel is that? There's a head on that.
That's Trevor Williams, who we just traded to the Chicago Cubs.
Well, you got him just in time.
JoJo, this is one of the best barrels in the building. JoJo. We only have 2 female barrel members. This is JoJo. She's awesome.
When you say barrel members, how many barrel members are there, and what does that mean?
That's 108 people have a barrel of wine here, from Eddie Vedder, Franco Harris, Troy Polamalu, Anthony Rizzo, Derek Jeter, Ichiro, all these guys. We got all kinds of companies.
Duane, have all of those massive names been in the winery?
All but Derek Jeter Eddie Vedder spent 16 hours here. We've had Anthony Rizzo, Baez, all the Cubs.
Amazing. That's amazing.
I think, Duane, whoever's holding the microphone, whoever's holding the camera has their finger over the microphone, so it's hard to hear you.
Yeah, it's because it's,
We're good now. We're good.
Okay.
We're clear.
So,
move your finger. Move your finger. Whoever's holding the camera, you can hear me. Move their finger. Hold the camera sideways. Everybody's done this tasting with us. Everybody's got their own barrel bottles.
Yeah.
It's a magical night.
Yeah. Couple good ones. Here's Anthony Rizzo right here, Chicago Cubs. Bam. Clemente Award recipient. We've had 5 of them. We got Albert Pujols has a barrel of wine. Carlos Beltran, Yadier Molina, Derek Jeter, and Rizzo. 5 barrels.
Well, what's amazing about Engine House 25, you have wine connoisseurs and you have professional athletes, you have major musicians, you've got Grammy-winning award, have you guys got the EGOT yet? We are an Oscar short of an EGOT on Alone Together Pittsburgh. We have gotten, we've had a Tony winner, we've had a Grammy winner, we've had Emmy winners. We have not got the Oscar yet. Have you had an Oscar winner come through your building?
Benicio
Who's your Oscar winner?
Benicio del Toro. He's Puerto Rican. He's from Santurce, Puerto Rico. Come on.
So you had Benny del Toro.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
He bought 15 of these shirts.
Well, God bless him. But I'm telling you what, Benicio del Toro is one of the finest actors we've got going right now. He's one of the best actors of his generation, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not bad. Steve Carell.
He's one of the best actors of his generation. He's better than not bad.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say, he's fantastic. I've seen just about every movie he's made. He's one of the best. So that's amazing.
So we're lucky. Yeah, we're lucky to get these people in here. You want to go see the wine press, Patrick?
Show me the wine press, and then we'll wrap up the night.
Okay, come on.
All right, so we're going to go through a little tour. It's way better in person, folks, just so you know. We've got professional fucking cameramen on this thing here. It's amazing. We're just rolling through this. There's wine, obviously, everywhere. We've got look at this. There's bells. Oh, man. Look at this. This is like a walk through the past. So anyway, if you want to be a barrel member, contact eh25.com. Find out how. Your stuff's magical. So there's a magical room here, right? It extends. As you walk through, they blew a hole through the wall, went into a neighboring building, and now you are in this place is like it's you cannot describe what it's like to go through the labyrinth that is Engine House 25. Now we'll go to Duane Rieder.
Okay. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. And
We see what we need,
wine
Duane.
press right here. You don't even have to see me. Just see the press. See the press. We make it all by hand, and that old antique thing right there. You saw it on a couple of those shots that you guys were putting up during the show. We make it over here. 100-year-old wine.
How many hundreds, Duane? We lost you for a second.
Barrels.
150-year-old wine press.
Yeah. And we got about 100 barrels. We're trying to get down to 80. That's our goal. So come buy some, then I'll have less. Help me out. Come on. Hey, thanks for having us on, Pat.
Duane, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah.
Anybody in the neighborhood, if you haven't been to Engine House 25, get there. Go to eh25.com, find it out, or the ClementiMuseum.com. You can find that out. Duane, thank you so much. To the magical sommelier, John, thank you so much for everything you've done. Everyone for being here, and the Alone Together Pittsburgh team for being here, from Kate Romane to Natalie Bensavenga, Dave Bracey, Pete Spenda, Dave Mansueto, and everybody else. We're going to sign off to the Engine House 25 winery. Roll on. And we're gonna sign off. We're gonna go back to just the home team here, Engine House 25. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, being with us from the start. 1 year in, hopefully we only have a few months left of this, and we'll keep going. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Peace out, Duane, Engine House 25. Thank you, Duane. So back to just me here, Pete, Dave.
What's up?
How you feeling, man? How much wine did you drink?
A lot more than I normally do. That's for sure.
Good. So how you feeling? Dave, how you feeling?
Feeling warm. It was a fun night.
This was a fun night. We went long, but it was an anniversary show.
It's a birthday party.
It's a birthday party. It happened.
We can cry if we want to.
We can cry if we want to. And you know what? I'm going to cry at the year of loss. But you know what? Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, wasn't for you guys, I don't know what this year would have been. This last year would have been like. We kept it together. We fought. We loved. We laughed. It was a good year. You know, like it was shitty in every aspect. And if I could make sure it never happened, I would. But you know, you guys made it super bearable, and I consider you guys family. And thank you guys for everything you've done for the last year.
Cheers.
Pete,
Love you,
can we
Pat.
see?
Love
Can
you,
we
Pete.
see the wine glass we're drinking out of, Pete?
This one
Pete,
or this one?
What is that? What is in that glass?
This is wine.
Are you drinking wine out of a mason jar? That's amazing.
No, it's a mason.
Bing! He's fast. Pete got the bit. Hey, Dave, I'm sorry. Everybody was great tonight across the board. I think Pete got the biggest laugh of the night. I'm going to go with this. I think Pete had the magic
Dave
night.
dodged so many comments and questions tonight. He was just like duck and cover the entire night.
Which was magical in its own right.
Yeah.
But you had.
But he's got a light on. He's got a light on him, though. So
he did that tonight because I think he knew. Dave's a professional. He knew that he was going to be part of the action tonight. But I will say this, Pete biggest laugh of the night. You brought it home. I'm just
The
saying.
mason jar thing, that was
No, it wasn't the mason jar thing, buddy. Midway through the show, you had something that actually broke me. I was laughing and I couldn't stop. You chimed in, you picked it up, you ran with it. You saw the apple on the tree, you plucked it off the tree, you put it in your pocket, you went home with it, you ate it later by yourself. That's what happened tonight. Hey, nobody should. That's the mark of a great show. If anybody's still watching, which I doubt they are, thank you for watching tonight and for the last year. We genuinely appreciate it, and we were just trying to help.
I'm bummed that we lost Duane in the tunnel somewhere. He's like in the bat cave and like
right now. Do you want Duane to be here?
No, but he was trying to lead the tour. He kept kind of cutting out because he was like so underground that
he's got like a whole subterranean complex. That's how it happened.
Engine House 25. I'm going to be real. Engine House 25 in the Roberto Clemente Museum. It's one of the more magical places that is not on your tour guides, right? If you go to like visit Pittsburgh or something, it might not be first on the list of things to do because, you want to go to the History Museum, you want to go to Permane Brothers, you want to go to Mount Washington, the observation decks. I get all that. Washington. I'm sorry. But Engine House 25, to me, is one of the more magical Pittsburgh places that, like, if you bring a bunch of people into town that are thinking about moving to Pittsburgh, if you go to Engine House 25 or the Roberto Clemente Museum, you're like, I want to live in this city. And you could come from anywhere in the world, see the magic that is that place. And I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. I'm not saying that because they're a friend. There is something about that building that there's a magic in it.
Well, because you can go in there and then you can end up at the 40th Street Bridge, or you can end up downtown at the 16th Street Bridge.
Location-wise is amazing, but I'm talking about when you go into that place, it's magic. It's also haunted. Dave knows about that.
We should try to conjure the spirits next time we have Duane on.
It won't take long because they're there.
They live in that building. Let's do like one of those.
Dave saw a ghost.
Kind of things.
Dave actually saw a ghost. I'm not kidding, Pete.
All right, Dave. Great comment on that one.
Thanks for chiming in, guys.
I love it. Is
this bordering on one of our longest shows?
No, not even close.
No, we've gone real long. This is nothing. This is 222 right there on the counter right now, which is kind of that's spooky right there. Speaking of
guys, it's been 1 year. I want to thank you guys. I've thanked you already, but props to you guys. We went through like insanity. Like last night at one point, we were talking after the show was over and there was like nothing going on. And then Pete was like, screw this, and pulled out his earbuds and walked away. And I went, oh shit, is Pete mad? Is Pete upset about something? And Jay was like, well, that's okay if he is, but it's part of the business. And I was like, well, hold on, wait. I did not, my spidey senses never tingled that there was anybody that was mad. And then Pete came back and put his earbuds in and we were like, are you okay, man? He was like, I just went to the bathroom. What's wrong with you guys?
To pee.
I just had to pee. I came back. I was coming right back.
After, a bottle.
Did you drink that whole bottle?
I mean, I'd help.
That's the white. That's the white, right?
Yeah.
Was that the Chardonnay or the Sauvignon Blanc?
Sauvignon Blanc. I'm halfway through this.
Sauvignon Blanc. It was the Look, so I was disqualified from 2 of the tastings. Did you guys nail all 3? Did you guys go 3 for 3? Dave, did you?
I knew number 2. It is my fave.
I knew the Sauvignon Blanc because it's been flowing at my house for a year or more. And I knew 3 because Duane let that slip when it was just him and me talking pre-show. And so that's why I didn't put the vote in. But yeah, man, it's pretty amazing.
I love 3 too. I feel like, some people
3 is like universal. Like that's what I said before. If you go to a restaurant or a bar or whatever, and you want a glass of wine, right? And you want to look smart, or you want to feel smart, or you want to like get something you're gonna like. Number 3. Like that would be it. Like I'm in search of that every time I go to a restaurant. Now, price point. I think that price point might be out of my price range, but the taste level wise, like if you get a bottle of wine, that's what you want. But the number 2, right, which was the
Carmenere.
The Cashmere or the Carmenere, like had I known that exact wine was on the menu, I would order that first. That would be that was
tasty. Yeah.
That's my go-to, right? Because it's complex, but still good. And I'm a big fan.
Totally different flavors. Like when I opened them up and I went downstairs for a second to get some water, and I came back up and I had the wine open. I could smell definitely the number 2, the Cashmere.
So wait, Pete, which one was your fave?
Carmenere.
I personally like the white wines. I know tomorrow I'm gonna have heartburn because of the red wines, because it just happens to me every time I drink red wine.
I don't think you're gonna have it from this. I'm dead serious. With the sulfites that are put in, we're talking a fraction of the level of regular wines that you're gonna get. Sulfites are what gives you the hangover. I'm being real. Are you frozen, Pete? Oh, shit. Dave, are you frozen? Say something, Dave.
Pete's definitely frozen.
Okay, good. You freaked me out.
Pete's caught in a look at that. You can sort of read right into his soul there. Look at that.
I think I know. He's not agreeing with what I'm saying.
But he's dangerous.
He's pleasant, but he's dangerous. He's basically like disagreeing with me. He's thinking in his mind, Patrick, I will not believe a word Patrick says because of the dynamic that we
got a show tomorrow. We can find out, which is great. We get to get the results on, how his upper GI tract.
It's hangover.
Wait. Pete, move for a second.
This one's even better.
I got to tell you something right now. I will say this: the thing that went on tonight, right, with the tasting, I will say that we have one of the more brilliant team of contributors on Alone Together Pittsburgh that you're going to find anywhere. Like not just the city of Pittsburgh, but anywhere. Dave Bracey, Kate Romane, and Natalie Bensavenga. The depth of the commentary that they gave tonight was real. Like it's an amazing group. We've magically. Hey Pete, what's up?
What's up? Somehow I froze and I don't know.
I believe that I love the upper puppet for love.
I can't see it. I can't see it. It's a black screen.
Which
for me.
one's the real Pete is the question.
Hey fellas, I'm sure nobody's watching right now, but
9 people. We got to shut it down though. At this point,
we're shutting it down. This is the lowest viewership that we've had.
I haven't had this much booze in a long time. That's okay.
This is the lowest. If anybody that's watching right now, what I'm assuming is somebody might have like played this on their phone and put their phone down.
Oh yeah,
and like started watching a TV show and didn't realize that it was still on their phone. So nobody's watching right now. It's just the 3 of us. It's been a year, man. Thanks for everything, guys.
Let's close it and then we'll hang out.
Well, I'm having a moment.
There we go.
But you know what? Nothing's changed. Let's show it again, Dave. Stop it. I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, I'll be honest with you. For the 3 people that are watching tonight, hey, here's to you guys. Thanks for watching us. It's been as much for us as it is for everybody else. It's been kind of therapeutic. Thank you all for 1 year, and hopefully it doesn't go another month. But if it does, we'll be here with you, sharing your feelings. Thank you all very much. Thank you to Engine House 25. Thank you to Natalie Bensavenga, Dave Bracey, Kate Romane, and on behalf of Pete Spinda, Dave Mansueto, thank you all for being with us for a year. And we'll be back tomorrow night and for the foreseeable future until we can end this thing and all be in person together again. But for now, we are Alone Together Pittsburgh.
Put on a fucking mask.